Okay, hey, hi, hello.
What are you up to?
This is the Aloha Broha Podcast, and I'm one of your hosts, John Cozy. With me, as always, is
Qualified.
and Ben.
Whoop.
Oh, I said his name instead of yours this week.
It's true.
Flipping up.
Hey, he's been bitching about it the last couple of weeks, so I
Suck
figured
a dick,
we
dude. Suck a fucking dick.
Why don't you say my name? Why don't you say Science Ben?
Suck on my fucking giant man bag.
No, dude. I will not.
See, we can't do this at Volcano at all. That's why this is never happening at Volcano.
It's not going to work, man. It's not going to work.
Oh, my God.
Okay, on this episode 11 of the Aloha Broha Podcast, we have a bunch of special guests in the house tonight. Our first guest is someone who I've mentioned multiple times in like those fucking Greenleaf Check ads at the beginning of every podcast, except maybe the last one because I didn't feel like doing a commercial on that one. But okay, yeah, our first guest is visual artist Hypoetical. What's up, man?
What's up, guys?
How you doing?
Have me on, man.
No doubt.
Welcome.
GLC.
Yeah, he's a visual artist. He does all the visuals that you see on the screen at our Greenleaf Check events on every last Thursday of the month at the Safe House.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
April 30th.
Yep.
Come out.
Coming up.
And you're also a contributor to the underground hip hop.
Yeah,
Blog.
it's kind of like an honorary contributor.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
most
Yeah.
def. And also joining us on the podcast, returning guests, Tron
Yo.
of the Astronauts by Night, and Jude Jove,
What's up?
aka TJ,
Hello.
aka Wonka.
I don't
still-
know how many names I've had.
Wonka.
Yeah, man, I gotta
gotta
just
tell
call you
us about
Wonka,
that
man.
Oh, yeah. Well, we probably will talk about it on
Yeah, I never call you. I always think of you as fucking Wonka because that's who I met you as.
Everyone like knew me as Wonka. I still run into people who still
Yeah,
call me
you
Wonka.
still have that fucking hat.
Yeah. I still
Yeah, you gotta bust that out sometimes, dog.
No, I had to buy another one because my girl bought me the second one. Because I lost it one time. I left it at Alter Solo.
I fucking miss that hat.
Yeah.
That's like part of your,
Yeah.
I feel like it's part of your identity, man.
It's a past identity.
You just start past identity. Oh, so like, okay,
Like,
that
it
Wonka's
was
dead and gone.
Like, every
He's a
time I
new
put
guy.
on the hat, it was like a totally different person came out.
Really?
So, yeah. That's why I try not to. Plus, I think like all the drugs I've ever done in that hat too have like seeped out of my head into the hat. So
So every time you put it on, you just start
yeah,
fucking
you start
going
feeling
crazy?
off like all the shit. So like I used to like take it off and put it on other people at events, and they would like trip balls. Like they were just like it was like
Like, what's this
whoa.
hat doing here,
Yeah.
man?
So
Surprise.
you're telling me you were so fucked up you sweated LSD.
not LSD, but like all the other shit that I would take.
You just sweated.
I had a friend
you
who
just
had
sweated
sweat so much
ecstasy and
stuff out of his-
C2B.
Yeah, all that shit was all in that hat, man. Like that hat had stories.
Can I have that hat?
No.
I could really use something.
can put it
to,
next
I
to
could
the
really
hat.
use something to
Courage.
trim off.
You can make a bust of me and then put it on there, and like you can wear it once in a while. As
Like
long
a
as it's in
Wonka.
bust.
I just
A
need a
bust
little.
of you,
I
like
need a
a
little bit of
Wonka
hair of the
statue?
dog.
the hat on top of the bust. And then
I just need a little hair of the dog.
Yeah, whenever you talk with them, like you gotta kind of.
Oh, yeah.
keep it
My bad,
around
my bad.
and then,
Yeah.
Okay, let's get to know our first guest, Hypoetical, man. Like
Yeah.
I've always known you as like, oh, you're the visual artist, dude. So, can you tell us a little bit about how you got into doing those types of visuals that you do? You know.
Yeah, so I mean, my career stems from video. Like I went to college for film and started getting into motion graphics. And
Nice.
yeah, it actually became a career from that because one of my films got into like this film festival in California, and then
What film festival? What was it called?
CineQuest. It's kind
I've
of
heard
like
of that.
it's like the Silicon Valley's like film festival every year. It's kind of like their Sundance.
Yeah, no,
so-
it's great.
But yeah, I got in as like a student film artist
Nice.
with my boy Paul, and then from there just got a few opportunities, and then kind of went into the corporate world with the video thing, and did it as a hobby. So, but when I was doing it as a student, it was like all experimental, all like just trying to do different things. So all of that led to what I'm doing today, which is live visuals and animation work and
Alongside
3D stuff.
music production and whatnot.
Yeah, it's kind of funny how everything just crossed because, from that, I got into hip hop at a pretty young age when I was about 15 or 16, maybe even before that. Because I had some connects, who like were into like the underground scene back then.
Yeah.
And up in Berkeley, I'm actually from the Bay originally. So
Okay, you grew up in the Bay.
yeah, I grew up in San Jose. So
408.
408.
Word up.
Yeah.
Got hella family down there, man.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
it-
Right on, man.
Yeah. A lot of my family though, growing up in the Bay, like hearing their stories, a lot of like gang stuff going on in
Oh,
San
yeah.
Jose. Was that any factor to you growing up in San Jose?
You know, it just really depended on who you hung out with, you know?
Yeah.
I hung out with more like the, you know, dudes that used to geek out on music and video games
Oh,
and
definitely.
technology and shit. So,
So you stayed away from the knuckleheads. That's a
well,
good
you know, I had
knucklehead.
some knucklehead friends, but, you know,
Right.
for the
Who
most
doesn't?
part,
He's my knucklehead friend.
there you go.
Pointing at Tron.
Yeah, nigga, Obama, dog.
So in general, yeah, it's like, you know, just it's pretty diverse out there. So I got exposed to a lot of different things. You know, especially hip hop. I was all, you know, in the beginning, you know, when I was a kid, it's like all about like Two Live Crew, MC Hammer, shit
Yeah,
like that, right?
yeah.
But then, in high school, I met these guys who were like, yo, you know, this place in Berkeley, man, they sell tapes, they sell, you know, vinyl from these guys who just do it out of their garage and shit. You know, that
Yeah.
whole underground scene is
Okay.
kind of what I grew up on.
That was in the 90s?
That was like
probably,
late 90s, man. Yeah.
Golden, oh, so you was a part of like the golden, age
you know,
of hip hop
golden
going
age,
up.
yeah.
Most definitely.
Far
man.
Side, you know, Souls of Mischief.
Nice.
That was like my
Uh-huh.
thing back then. I met Mystic Journeyman like when they were like really just starting out.
Mm-hmm.
Like I got some vinyl signed from them, and yeah, from there I just kind of got into music myself.
Sick. So what kind of like elements were you into growing up? Did you like try to rap? You did graffiti, break dancing, or?
Believe it or not, it was rhyming was my first passion.
Oh, word.
Writing and
No,
rhyming,
okay.
yeah. I
So
probably around 98.
Mm-hmm.
I went to school at Santa Cruz.
Yeah.
So I met some cats over there that were into it. Like, you know, they just come by my dorm room, like, dude, what are you bumping or whatever. And then all of a sudden, you know, like, you know, do you freestyle? I'm like, nah, not really. I just used to write rhymes, you know, and
Same,
poetry
man.
and stuff like that.
yeah.
And then one day, you know, we got together, like, you know, just bust the flow. And then from there, it was just like obsession. So we started, we started our little cruise. You know how it is, you know, when you first get into it, it's like
Yeah.
like-minded people who are
Click.
just into.
Start clicking up like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, I fuck with this dude or I fuck with this.
Yeah, and
person,
so,
and like, oh, let's try and get something going, yo. Try to, you know, create.
Exactly, and you know, no one had beats back then, so that's what kind of drove me to start producing.
Start making your own.
Exactly.
Nice.
So like, what did you start out making beats on?
Back then, I just had my PC, so I was doing this app called Sonic Foundry Acid Pro.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, dude. It it was dope though because you could chop it up like you can chop up samples like really easily and just, you know, loop drums. It was kind of like I don't know, I kind of see a lot in Ableton that I saw in that software.
Yeah.
So I think they borrowed some of the aspects of that,
Oh, okay.
especially the looping and, you know.
Yeah, that's like one of my favorite because I use Ableton to produce.
Yeah.
And I really like the fact that you can just like loop something and then just keep adding layers on top of it. Like there's a lot of improvisation that goes into that, and that's how I've been making a lot of my beats lately. Did you
Yep.
But I come from a hardware background. Have you ever tried to fuck with any like hardware, like, you know, like MPCs or shit, like keyboards, shit like that?
Yeah, they came after the fact because, you know, I was broke at the time, so I just
Yeah,
pirated
yeah.
the software. You know, like everyone kind of starts that way, Fruity Loops or whatever. So, you know,
Hey, I still rock Fruity Loops.
hey, I started
Yo.
on Fruity Loops too, so hey, I understand.
Fucking Ninth Wonder uses Fruity Loops, and he
Exactly.
won Grammys, you know, or a Grammy,
Exactly.
I think, right?
Fruity Loops is dope. Yeah, so eventually, I got like a summer job, and I just saved up all my money to get turntables. Like that was kind of the introduction into sampling for me. Well, you know, I'd sample, but it was like people just give me samples, or I just go on the internet and download stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't until I actually had turntables that I started digging, and then I got into the whole hardware thing with MPC. I actually own a SP1200.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's in Hawaii, so
Nice.
need to bust that out once in a while. But
So like, who influenced you like beat wise? Like, what producers did you like really dig?
you know, it's actually all those underground cats I used to listen to. Like, there's this dude named Anonymous Inc. One of my like biggest influences is this guy named D-Ski. Comes from Half Moon Bay. He produced for like, I don't know if you guys have heard of like Arachnophobics or
Oh, yeah, okay.
what else has he produced for? Well, he runs that site LA to the Bay. I don't know if you guys have heard of that.
Mm-mm.
But they sell a lot of like West Coast underground hip hop stuff.
Still going on?
Yeah, it's still going on, but not as strong as it was. But yeah, classic dudes like RZA. Definitely J-Biz. Yeah.
Cool, man.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you think that's attributed to? Like, like how certain scenes kind of like fall off and die down, and sometimes they come back up. It's like a cycle of things. Like, and in Hawaii, I see this issue a lot where there's like peaks and valleys, I guess. Like people have their opinion of what time and place was like, oh, well, this was the golden age of Hawaii hip hop. This is when it was popping. And I'm thinking of this because Angry Robots Aaron, he posted up a video of the Light Sleepers radio show back in the day, and some people just getting live at some party, and like all the older heads were talking about like, oh man, this is Hawaii hip hop. This was like the best time of Hawaii hip hop. And me being part of a newer generation of hip hop heads, I feel like we were just as live as these dudes,
Oh yeah.
And they were kind of like, oh yeah, how like, oh, these younger cats, they don't know what's up no more. What is that? Because I feel like
it's a generation gap, to be honest.
Yeah, and that's what
everyone has their moment.
Yeah.
And everyone kind of lives in that moment and believes it's their time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's kind of what you experience is maybe just them talking about their time.
Yeah, and I feel like the reason that people feel like there's no growth in the culture, or why it's not constant, and why there's always peaks and valleys, is because of that disconnect between the older generation and the generation right now happening. Like I don't get a lot of input from the older heads, and it's kind of that I get kind of this, and then
they kind of had to find our own way, pretty much.
Yeah, well, that, and then I also see like I don't know, I don't want to say complaints. I don't know if it's, I don't want to call it like bitching, but like the older heads just talking.
Hey, say what it is, bro. Say what it is.
Just talking shit about like the younger cats, and I know you guys feel this in like the rave scene too, as well, right?
Mm-hmm, definitely.
Maybe few years ago, yeah, there was a little bit more of a community between the older heads, and the older raver heads would take care and like teach the younger cats the ways. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think what is it? Since I've joined, it's like been two generations now that have been like in and out of the scenes, like because what do you call it? Like I came in like pretty much right after, I guess, like your guys' generation, and that's when it like it was complete. It was kind of still underground.
Mm-hmm.
And then now, like, especially with it like becoming like it's pretty much EDM is becoming mainstream music now. That like now you have like all these other people coming in, and it's different now from the generation like you guys came from and the generation that I came in from to the generation now. It's such a crazy gap, like meeting all these new people.
Yeah,
it's like you see it, especially I had a friend who was standing in line at some event. And actually, I think it was on Lauren Lala's page or something. Like she made a post of it, and she was like standing behind these girls, and this girl was all like, "Oh yeah, I'm so OG. I used to go over to like this such and such event in like 2010 or something, or 2011 or something like that." And we're just like, what?
Oh yeah, and see, that's another issue with like the younger heads as well, thinking that okay, I've spent this much time, or I've gone to certain things.
Yeah.
And they all of a sudden they think, yo, I'm really, really fucking down with this shit now. I've gone to 3 fucking Wonderlands or something, you know what I'm saying? I'm a fuck your raver till the death of me. Fuck yeah, candy down and shit. I'm popping pills, drinking drugs, and eating shits.
I've got my LED lights.
And eating shits.
I don't know, man. Just keep it going.
Just
That's
shoveling
probably why I
poo
don't
into
go
your
to them
face.
parties,
Drinking
man.
drugs.
Motherfuckers just be eating
No, but
shits.
no, my point is that's a fucking I'm just like blowing shit out of proportion. Of
I'm
course,
joking
you know?
with you, man. I got
Yeah.
you. I understand.
Well, I think you nailed it, man. I think the older generation needs to connect more with the younger generation.
Yeah.
I think that's where the disconnect is.
Yeah.
I don't, even in, when I was, listening to hip hop, I didn't really have an influence from the older cats. It was just whoever was, dope during my time.
Yeah, same here. When I started DJing, man, I was pretty much the young buck. I was the only DJ my age. Like when I started like DJing at Tropics, which was this old rest in peace.
Oh yeah.
hip hop venue. That's where I started. That's where I started DJing at. And when I started DJing there, I noticed that I was still in high school at the time. I was like only like 17, maybe 18. I don't know. But I was the youngest cat there, and the rest of the dudes were in their mid-20s already. You know, like revised student. They were all like, "Oh, yes." I was like, "Where? How come kids my age aren't going to these things?" And I think about that all the time. But we see nowadays, a lot of young cats are getting into it. There's more of a presence, I guess, of the younger generation, and unfortunately, less of a presence of the older generation. For some reason.
Well, part of it too is the fact that, like you said, these different things are becoming more and more mainstream, and as it becomes more mainstream, more people get introduced to it. So most of the new generation never even knew it existed before this, and they're like, "Oh, there's this new thing that I've found out that I love."
Yeah.
And as more and more people flood in, the people who found it originally, the reason that they found it is because they were kind of introverted, and they were like, I'm going to go off on my own because I'm not fitting in with people around my age. I'm going to go off on my own and find this thing that I need to find.
Yeah, you kind of hit the nail on the head there, because that's exactly how I felt.
And now that it's being flooded with a bunch of people coming in, the older generation is like, oh, I'm just going to like pull back a little bit because I'm not comfortable around all these people. It's kind of like that. Like that's metaphor me talking.
I've
kind
been
of like
there, or whatever.
I was thinking it was kind of like a combination of like, all these people now are like trying to like learn everything. They're trying to see all this stuff now instead of just being like, getting fed all this mainstream stuff. They're trying out to explore out there, trying to see all these things.
Yeah.
So like it's a good and bad thing. I mean, these people are getting into this stuff. Yeah. There's more respect going around for these artists, these people who are doing all this stuff. But at the same time, like Ben said, like there's also the people like who are like introverted, or the people who used it as an escape. Like it's kind of not becoming an escape anymore because of this newfound exploration that everyone's doing.
Yeah. Okay.
I feel you. I don't know, man. That's why I usually before whatever I do, I smoke a blunt, because when you high, it's hard to give a fuck about other people. So you still have fun.
Just smoke a blunt and you'll fit right in.
You know what I mean?
Just be in the moment, right?
On that note, I was thinking about that whole disconnect thing, and I think a big part of that, the reason that there's a disconnect, is that there's this ego issue on both sides. So,
well, I mean, part of the ego issue too is that like the big flood of people coming in is a lot of people who are here to consume it, not to produce it, and so they're like, we just want to more and more and more, keep giving us more. And our tastes are going to change, and this and that, and the people who are producing can feel overwhelmed, because then they get the feeling like, oh, whatever I'm doing right this instant, which is what I want to be doing, isn't what this new audience who's consuming my stuff isn't. They're losing me, and they're going off and like, oh, my interests are slightly waving this way, and they're waving back this way, and so part of that disconnect happens when the producers feel like they're not getting that love at that instant. Like they got this love at one point, and then it just kind of went away, and then it's coming back and it goes away, and it comes back and it goes away, and so they're just like, fuck, dude, I'm tired of it.
Yeah.
That's why we all need to eat shrooms.
Exactly.
Destroy our ego.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
Let's get back to Hypoetical. Okay, so you grew up in the 408, San Jose, and then that's where you got introduced to hip hop.
Right.
When did you make your way over to Hawaii?
Well, I got family over here, so 2011 was when I moved here. I've been visiting for like the past 10 years.
You settled down fairly recently.
Yeah, like multiple times a year, and I was like, I told my wife, I was like, we have her parents here. I was like, why don't we just move to Hawaii? Just needed a change.
That's what's up.
And just loved it every time I was here. And, I actually got like a genuine experience, not being at Waikiki all the time.
Yeah.
Meeting like my fam out here and meeting some folks. So
not doing the tourist thing, right?
Yeah, I think
which has its own place, because there can be fun and learn, but it's like the where you really get an appreciation for Hawaii is when you're kind of off exploring it by yourself, I think.
Yeah, definitely. It was a side that I didn't see before.
Yeah,
and
it was a side that I didn't notice until after I'd come back from being in the Marines for 6 years. And then I come back and I start like driving a limo around, and I'm seeing all these parts of the island that I haven't seen since I was a little kid. I'm like, holy fuck, how did I miss all of this shit?
Oh, we couldn't drive back then.
Yeah, that too.
I never saw this part of the island. I couldn't drive there.
So coming back and forth to Hawaii all the time. Did you have any experience with the local hip hop scene over here during your travels back and forth?
I actually did. It was kind of funny because you mentioned Light Sleepers earlier.
Yeah.
And I I had a Light Sleepers tape like early 2000s that I copped from that LA to the Bay website. And I actually sent out my beats to Cavett while he was running that show. And like years later, he told me, he's like, dude, I used to play your beats on our station. I was like, wow, that's crazy.
No doubt. Wow.
Yeah, so when I moved out
That's
here, it was
dope.
like, he's the first guy I hit up because I had this connection with him. He was part of that whole underground tape thing too, where people were just slanging tapes out of their backpacks and whatnot.
Yeah, that's.
And,
man, that's.
there was that connection like a long time ago.
No doubt.
And then I just, I used to follow Beetroot like from back where I was from. So that was like the first thing I wanted to do out here was like contribute to it somehow. Or
did you ever enter any of the beetroots?
I wanted to the first couple of years, but my output was so low. So I was like,
okay.
yeah, I didn't think I had enough beats to do it. Because I was just, I was doing a lot of video work. So I was like, why can't I just help out with video? And that was kind of my first kind of visual show out here was with Beetroot.
Okay. Which beetroot was that? Which one did you?
It was one where Jersey Rick won.
Oh shit.
When we beat
Shout out
Carmack?
Jersey Rick.
Wait, is that the one we beat up
Yeah.
Carmack?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was at Fresh Cafe,
Carmack,
right?
Yeah.
Centric, Wellwing.
Oh, that was a good one
Why
actually.
does Carmack
I didn't
sound
get
so
to go
familiar
there.
again?
Mr. Carmack.
we were talking about it last time we were.
You met him at when he came down here to play at Manifest.
Oh,
And we kept trying to fix the sound because he
Yeah,
was
yeah,
sounding
yeah,
like
yeah,
shit
okay,
because
okay,
something
okay.
was fucking
I was
up
about
with
to say,
the
I was
mixer.
like, no, I was like, that name sounds so familiar. I was like, why do
Yeah.
I know that name?
Yeah. He's like cracking right now, and he won last year's Beetroot
Good shit.
It wasn't last year, was it?
2 years ago. I don't
think
fucking
so,
know.
man. It was a while ago.
The one with
Way too
fucking
fast,
TSRK and shit.
That was a while ago, I think.
Yeah, so you do you do all these like dope visual and stuff. Where does your inspiration come from for making these visuals? Because they're very psychedelic to me. Like I look at it and I'm like, oh man, I wish I had
Look, Ben's
fucking-
getting excited. Ben's like, psychedelic?
Yeah,
What?
man, it's like some, and
He's
it's
like,
crazy
where?
because I know that you hook it up to the soundboard, right? And you
Yeah.
kind of, is it reactive or are you how much are you controlling the visuals, and where does your inspiration come from for designing these things?
Well, the workflow usually involves like me creating loops. So it's almost, in a way,
it's
it's kind
kinda
of
like
like music
making music.
production. I'll create these stems or these loops of just, eye candy, right?
Yeah.
And then where the live stuff comes in is the effects. So, I'll plug it into the audio and like, I can specify, on a beat, go ahead and like zoom in or whatever, or do a kaleidoscopic effect, rotate. So it's just, that's kind of where I automate things is when it comes to the effects. But yeah, my inspirations just come from all these experimental films that I used to be into, and growing up around video games and growing up in the Silicon Valley, it's just
Oh yeah.
all this information, and just always been into that kind of thing, anime, just
anime, video games. Like what kind of
Yeah,
video
man.
games? What was like
I was
your
just about to
Yeah,
ask
there
about
you go.
that.
like what kind of
Come on.
what
Top
kind of
three.
video games
Top
are
three.
top three.
Yeah.
Well,
Top
have you
three
guys
video
played
games.
Res on the Dreamcast?
Shit,
I remember it. I didn't get to
dude.
play it
Yeah,
much.
that's one of the most
Oh my God.
psychedelic, like trippy games
Yeah.
you could ever play.
The only
That,
games I played on the Dreamcast was like Chrono. There's Chrono something. Oh, there's like Chrono something, and then there's there was another Chrono.
Chrono
Like,
Cross?
Yeah, I think that was the one. I'm not too
It's
sure.
like the sequel to Chrono Trigger.
Wasn't that on the SNES?
No,
That was on
no.
PlayStation.
There's one on Dreamcast.
Chrono Cross was on. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
and then what was the other? And then Resident Evil Code Veronica. That was one of the other one I played on Dreamcast. There weren't a lot of stuff. Oh, and Power Stone. Power Stone was like the shit on Dreamcast. And then they took Dreamcast away from us.
I used to play like the first 2K games and
top
shit
three
on
is
there.
tough though. That's really
Do you
tough.
want to
But
make
Final Fantasy,
make it like top 5 then?
Final Fantasy 3 on the Super NES.
Ooh.
I got all my dudes to level 99.
Yeah.
I got all
I
the
got that on my
rings.
phone right now.
Dude, that game is beast.
They recently released a bunch of the old Final Fantasy out for like Android and iOS.
Yep.
So I've been playing some of the old Final Fantasy games on my Android every once in a while.
Yeah.
That and Chrono Trigger too, actually.
Yeah, Chrono Trigger's the shit. Yeah. And final game.
Final game, man. Honestly, the Super Mario Brothers 1.
Hey,
go.
all right, that's one that I actually
Hundreds
played.
of hours, man, just on that game.
Never beat that game. Well, because the only time I ever played it was when I was like 3, 4, 5.
I still haven't beat it. But
They've actually there was a dude.
technically a breakbeat, the Mario song, isn't it? Like the with the drums, like it's like right, and then you have the
yeah.
Is that in the first Mario Brothers?
Standard hip hop.
yeah, I don't know.
Trap.
It like had that kind of feel. Like I mean, you could probably play
Yeah, it was in
and
the
then
80s or
break that.
90s BPM.
Yeah,
it
was
had like
real-
a swing to it. So
Yeah,
What was like one of the first video games you ever played growing up? Mine was Super Mario Brothers. That my mom had got me an NES, and then her
it
coworker.
was
Yes.
Duck Hunt. It was like
Yeah,
I was about to say
Mario
Duck Hunt,
Brothers.
man.
Fucking Duck Hunt.
It was the
I had-
NES. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had the combo pack Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt on the same cartridge for the NES.
And I
I
played.
remember playing that shit all the
fucking
time.
light gun, and
I
you
played
just
WrestleMania.
go all the way up to the screen and
Exactly.
shit. Fucking Duck.
Yeah.
It was tough, man.
You know what I mean? Like to get your stamina back up, you had to like
Yeah.
rest on the ropes and shit.
Was this for the Nintendo?
Yeah, dog. Hulk Hogan was on the cover.
I think the only sports game I ever had on the NES was fucking Tecmo Bowl.
Tecmo Bowl, dog.
Or
Bo
Tecmo
Jackson.
Bowl.
Bo Jackson, yeah.
Bo Jackson's
The only sports game I
unbeatable.
ever played was Mega Man Soccer. On the Super
doesn't
Nintendo. That's the only sports game I played. It was
Yo, you know what you
That's
need to
fun,
play,
though.
bro?
No, because every single character that you could play as the bad guys. You create your team, and then when you'd hold
I didn't even
R
know
and
this
push
was
the
a
kick
game.
button, you would actually do their superpower, which was specific to each character in the game. So if you played like if you played like this one gravity guy or gravity man, you'd kick out the ball, and whoever gets hit by the ball would fall into a black hole. Yeah, there's some. Yeah, there's
Would
some
you still get a
crazy shit.
goal?
Like, look it up. Like Mega Man Soccer was like the greatest thing ever on the Super Nintendo. It was fucking awesome.
It was good. I had
Yeah,
it.
that was so much fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
man. The first thing I ever played was the old original Game Boy. Yeah, like and it was
fucking gray with a purple.
No, my dad had a clear one.
Oh, okay.
And then
Oh,
I-
yeah, I had the clear one too.
Yeah, and what I heard was those ones were actually for prisons and stuff like that. So like if people wanted to play Game Boys, they would have a clear casing so that like they wouldn't hide shit in it.
Is that fucking legit?
I don't know if it's legit
Science
or not,
bin,
but that's
where
what
you
I
at?
heard. That's what I've heard.
Where you at with the
Yeah,
facts?
man, come
Science bit.
But I would play that. Yeah, I would play that, and it was
Well,
between.
a lot like how on Facebook I've become your internet fact checker.
you gonna say facts?
fact checker.
Ah, damn.
They expect me to chime in whenever there's something that needs to be clarified.
Yeah.
No, that's true. Like I'll usually post up something if I see something that's scientific and like I need validation on it. Like, and I'm too busy to freaking look it up. I'm just like, I post it up, I'll share it, and I'll tag Ben. Is this real? Like, yo, back check
What's-
this for me, dog. Like, I can't check Wikipedia right now.
What's funny is he did that to me. He did that to me the first time like 6 months ago, and since then I've had like 5 or 6 different people do the exact same thing. Be like, hey, check this. I want to know if it's real. Like, it's just fucking Google, dude.
That's what I was
Hey,
about to
man.
say, man.
But
You can find this out
Good to have
yourself.
friends like you, Ben.
But your science bin.
Well, speaking of like, I mean,
It's
to
what
get
you do.
Back to like, those video games, and to kind of connect on like what's real. Have you guys ever played? The Link's Awakening?
Yeah.
On the Game Boy.
Yeah.
That is like, if you consider, it was the most abstract game at the time. That was the first, I think, abstract game before Ocarina of Time. Like literally,
abstract as in
no, you were Link, but you were playing in a dream.
Oh,
And you were in a
okay.
dream of someone like of what is it, the Windfish or whatever?
Spoilers.
Yeah, big spoilers. Sorry, I totally.
Just fucking.
Yeah, but you gotta play it because it's like, I mean, it's just like any other game. But then when you finish it, you're just like, whoa,
Yeah.
like it's really trippy. And like I used to be between that
That
and
whole
Tetris.
series is
Those are the
all
best.
kind of fucked up and crazy. Have you seen like the official timeline that they posted out recently?
I've seen
3
it.
timelines,
It like
yeah.
splits into
Yeah,
3.
it splits
There's
into 3 different
timelines.
sections. It's fucking ridiculous, and all the games are out of order.
Even the Metroid series, when they finally posted the Metroid timeline, I was like, what the fuck? I was like I thought Prime took place after this one. No, it takes place before 3. Like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, it was mind blowing. I couldn't even understand.
There's
it.
no way the heads at Nintendo are not on acid constantly.
Man, you
Well, yeah.
guys
What was that one?
play video games a whole different way than I do. Like, none of this shit sound like Madden. You know what I'm saying?
It's funny that you say that because like I have avoided sports games just
That's
because
all the fuck I play.
because there's nothing to them.
There's more.
That's all I need is like sports.
Like I need something
It's
to
basically just like taking what you see on TV because I can't dunk on niggas and create myself and dunking on niggas.
It's more of a competitive game in a sense.
You know what I
It
mean?
can almost look
And then
like
you
it like
play
Street
against your
Fighter.
friends,
I mean,
too.
It's not like you can always
Yeah, there's
I
like
can-
Street Fighter, Mortal
I
Kombat.
can see,
down
I can see
niggas.
the appeal. Yeah, that's it's like I can see the appeal in it, but like I need story. I need like I'm a very story centric kind of person.
Yeah.
Here's one. How come
man.
they
I
don't?
need a
How
narrative.
come they don't play sports games in esports?
What do you mean?
Doesn't that make sense?
They do.
Do they?
Just yeah, they
Have the
do.
Madden
Well, it's not that. Was it popular?
Well, some of the
No,
first like one.
Shit, Madden championships were on ESPN.
Yeah, I was
for a
gonna say
while.
like some
were
of the
they?
like
Okay.
yeah
I'm-
after
Sorry, I'm
like
misinformed.
after like Doom and Quake became major league
Yeah.
gaming.
Yeah.
The very next thing was like Madden.
Fucking yeah, because all the news I
They-
see.
Actually, one of the things that I have planned with my comedian friends is we're gonna play. We're gonna host a video game tournament. Like this is still way in the works, but we're gonna host a video game tournament. And the comedians are gonna be the commentators.
Oh. Okay.
And basically, we're gonna have prizes for the people competing
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
winner and whatnot. And they're gonna play various sports games, shooters, strategy games, whatever we can get our hands on to play.
Mm-hmm.
We're just gonna host a tournament of it, and we're gonna have comedians on there who either really know the game really well or know nothing about the game whatsoever.
Nice, yeah.
And they're gonna be like trying to be commentators during the fight or whatever.
So
sounds
it's like you're pretty
great.
much not even using the commentators that are actually in the game.
Yeah, exactly.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah, we're
Genius.
that's in the pipeline.
Yeah, but I don't know. The closest thing that I got in the games that I played that sounds like your
Games that we
shit
play.
is yeah, man. Like when I play 2K and there's career mode, so you can like create your dude and get drafted and like basically live out your career. You have like a Twitter, fucking. Yeah, man. You can like
What the?
yeah, you can like you
see,
can go
like-
talk to the
yeah.
GM and be like, dude, I want to get traded. Like, fuck this
See,
team.
the thing
Like,
about it, and this is why I think I haven't really gotten into that part of it, is because before you get into the career mode of most sports games, you need to have like before you can do anything really any good in the career mode and like actually have a storyline kind of connecting you through the game, you need to just be used to playing the sport part of it. And I was not okay with just being like, oh, I'm just gonna sit here and pass the puck or throw the football or whatever.
Or you can just
NHL.
jump in
That's what I'm
in
saying.
career mode and then
Except
learn
that you
along
don't.
the way.
Except that you don't know anything, and your career is going to be horrible.
Nah, man, you can always turn it around. There's plenty of time. Just make yourself young, so you give yourself like 5 years to do shit. But like you can do like the little mini games. Fucking there's like
Weightlifting.
training shits and whatever. Get points. It's
Can
not
you like
that
assign
bad.
like points to different stats? Like how in
Yeah,
I play the
basically
fucking
just build yourself up.
I play like the UFC game, and that's kind of like a little RPG. Every time you win a fight, you get these points, right? That you assign to your like your ground game or your submission, your grappling, and all that shit.
Yeah,
that's kind of
the-
like RPG like.
Yeah,
You
Yeah,
know?
that's the closest I can get to it.
yeah. It's attempting to add story to something that's really not. It's something that's just about the experience of doing a physical activity that
Hey,
you
man.
can't do,
That's all you
and they're
need.
trying to add story to it. For some, for me, I can't. I'll be right back.
Andy. So it's like okay, let's like
Ben's gonna go do some science.
work the science, Ben. So what are you guys like playing right now? And like you're talking like
2K
video games. Okay, Quali's playing 2K. What kind of stuff are you
all
getting
I
into,
play.
Adriel?
They're playing Hyrule Warriors.
Hyrule
That
Warriors.
Zelda-based Dynasty Warriors kind of.
Sorry, guys.
No worries.
Sorry.
Sorry.
No, that we're recording in real time.
Hyrule Warriors. That's on the Wii, right? Wii U?
Wii U. Yeah, been playing
Wait,
it
have you
because
sampled it?
what's that?
Have you sampled it already? The Hyrule one, the Hyrule Warriors.
Yeah, I actually beat it with my daughter, so it's a good co-op game.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. How do they like? I mean, one of my things was like how they incorporate a lot of like the fundamentals of Zelda into it.
You know, it's kind of just. I mean, the story isn't too deep, really. It's kind of.
It
it's
takes
just-
the Dynasty Warriors effect to it, where it's just like there's a battle. Your
Mm-hmm.
main thing is to go and win the battle, and the story is kind of second.
Exactly.
Yeah. So there's not too much of. I mean, there's probably no puzzles at all, but there's what like you have like as far as move sets and stuff like that. Like they kind of like fight kind of exactly.
It's just kind of your classic beat 'em up where you unlock new moves, new button combinations, and new powers and weapons. It has that whole RPG effect too, where you can build up your characters.
Okay.
Their stats and whatnot.
Yeah. So basic Dynasty Warriors then.
Exactly.
Just slapping
It's just
on
pure
Zelda
action. That's why I
and
like
Link's
it.
face on everything.
Yeah, I'm just really into action games.
One of my
cool.
favorite games that I played when I first got the PS3 was the Dynasty Warriors Gundam.
Oh yeah, I love that.
I heard
game.
about that one.
I played 1 and 2,
Dude.
and that was my shit for the longest time. Like I couldn't stop playing that game. It was so much fun. That was one of those ones where you just kind of like dive into the experience of winning the fight.
Did they make you
And
move 3-dimensionally? Like
There were some maps that you did.
Oh god.
And I remember some like crazy shit like in space where it's just like because it's the Dynasty Warriors one where it's like you're in the middle of something and then all of a sudden you get an alert that something way off on the other side of the fucking map is there, and then but you're in space so it's 3-dimensional and
Yeah,
you're like, fuck, okay, I know I got to move that way, but is it above or below me?
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's
that's right.
fucking
Just like
craziness.
flying, trying to find. Where are you?
And I remember just like playing as my favorite Gundams and shit.
Would they have like the whole like ones from Wing?
Oh yeah, no, dude, I played as Wing Zero like constantly.
You should play it, man.
Oh my god, I
pretty
can
dope.
see. That's the thing is like after my folks split, my brother kind of in a sense like adopted the Xbox. So it used to be a family thing. Everybody would hop on, they'd play their game. But then after that, like my brother kind of just adopted it. So now it's all him. Like I don't got the Xbox. I mean, and then like I don't know why we did, but a long time ago we sold the Super Nintendo, which is the biggest mistake I think somebody. I don't know whose decision it was. I didn't find out till later. But now, like, all I do is just I have my 3DS and my computer to play emulators and stuff like that, and I just play all my games off there while he's upstairs playing all the good shit on his Xbox, and he just got Xbox One too.
There's a lot of good
who's
stuff.
bigger between the two of you?
What?
Who's bigger between the two of you?
Me?
Just
So you could
beat 'em
like,
up.
yeah.
Just take it.
AJ is way bigger than him. No, he's got the stock.
Mass-wise, yes, but...
Yeah, he's got the stock.
Hey man, size doesn't matter.
Plus he is in the military too, so I mean...
Oh well, I don't know then.
He's got training.
He's doing better than me
Might
right
have to
now,
just
let's
let him
say
have
that.
it.
Right.
Yeah,
It might
you just
be
asked
his
out.
Xbox now.
I probably have a gun to my
So
face.
Angel, you said you beat Hyrule Warriors with your daughter. How much video games do you play with your daughter, man? That sounds cool.
Yeah, I mean, I don't limit her really.
Yeah.
I just let her. She's dope at Minecraft, dude. Like she
Oh,
creates worlds.
A lot
Yeah.
of kids are getting really into Minecraft. Just this
Dude.
ability to create whatever you want. And
Yeah.
I've
like Legos, but
It's insane
three-dimensional.
how much she can build.
Well, I remember one of the first like do whatever you want game, like really do whatever you want games. Not like no missions at all. It was just go out and do whatever the fuck you want. Was the Lego beta? They like Lego produced this
Wow.
video game that I remember playing on the PC. Fucking, it had to have been
Oh, I
over
remember
10
those.
years
I
ago.
remember those. I used to
Yeah,
play
no,
them.
it was, this like it kind of led into what Lego produced with their DC series and their Marvel series and their movie series and whatnot. You could tell that there was aspects of the beta that they put out online in those games, but basically all it was you were in a room, a 3D simulated room, and you had just a variety of blocks you could pick, and you just built whatever the fuck you wanted. And people would they would join each other's servers and whatnot. And there were people doing way before Minecraft. This was, like I said, had to have been like 10 or 15 years ago now. But they were like, they had like to scale models of like Walt Disney in Lego, and they had like just craziness that they were fucking building. And now the people are doing that same thing on Minecraft now.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing what the kids can build. I mean, she's building like hotels and hospitals, and yeah, it's
How old
know,
is
And
she, by the
the
way?
thing too is they're
she
not
just turned
just
7, so
exactly. And the thing too is they're not just like buildings. They're like working hospitals. Like they have shit.
yeah,
in it.
she creates dispensers for like
Exactly.
food and
Yeah,
you press a
what I'm
button,
saying.
food
Like,
comes
I thought you were
out.
about to say like, oh, she creates dispensaries for like marijuana, and I was like, what? I was like, holy shit.
I'm trying to go to that hospital,
now
dog.
qualifies like, yo, bro, I want to check out that world. Like, shit.
Bruh, you know what I mean?
Live in that world.
one of the
Download
podcasts.
me, man.
One of the podcasts I listen to is Harmontown, which is hosted by Dan Harmon. He's the creator of Community. And a bunch of other shows and whatnot, but they're just really inventive, incredibly one of the best writers ever, and he's addicted to Minecraft now too. And on the podcast, he talks constantly about how, like at least probably once a show now, he talks about what he's doing in Minecraft right then. And one of the things that I remember him saying is he just got done building his world where he has a floating fortress that has a zombie generator right above a grinding plate, so that he can just like basically just create zombies. And then they just get destroyed immediately and mines the resources out of them. Exactly. And then the resources automatically go to the different places that they go to, and they just power the rest of this fucking base.
Yeah.
And do all kinds of crazy shit like that. I was like, holy fuck.
It's a pretty deep game, man.
Yeah. It's
I didn't know that's
ridiculous.
what like Minecraft was. I thought you just like dig shit and build.
You can do
houses, but you can
whatever you want.
They've literally made it so you can do anything.
The nigga creates his own zombies.
Yes.
That's crazy.
To collect the resources,
What the fuck? Yeah, video games are the shit.
You guys should check it out, man.
Yeah, so like, growing up with video games, my mom was always. People are always trying to limit you with video games, like saying that it's like taken away from your fucking education or something or whatever. But I feel like video games as an entertainment medium is just as valid as a work of art as any fucking movie or piece of music or whatever, and you can take something from it that you can apply to everyday life, or you can learn you learn a lesson from stuff. And what do you guys think about that, like video games as an art form?
Well, like there's definitely qualities of art there for sure. The problem is, like with anything else, it's technically a drug, and when it's misused, it can create really horrible things. Like I've fallen down video game holes where it's like I didn't do anything for 3 fucking months because I was just playing this video game. Yeah. And then like suddenly you're not interested in it, or something happens and you can't play it. And so like you have to like rediscover the fucking world around you again. Yeah. And if you misuse it and you just do nothing but the video game and you don't like do anything else with it, then that's bad. Yeah, but if you use it to inspire you to go and do other things that you like to do, and you don't let it just control you, it's fantastic. That's the way I feel about pretty much everything there is out there. Is there's a proper way to use it, and there's a negligent way to use it.
Yeah. It's like alcohol, like
alcohol, like drugs,
anything,
right?
like
weed,
relationships.
The proper way to use it is a lot.
It really relates to everything. I mean, like even when it comes down to like your personal relationships with other people, there's bad personal relationships where you're just completely needy and all you're doing is sucking off of other people, and there's the exact opposite of that too, where there's bad ones where you're just dumping shit on everyone else.
And you share blunts with each other. That's a good one.
But then in a proper working relationship, you guys share everything together and everything works great.
It's for both.
And it's literally you can make the comparison to everything.
True.
Yeah, I mean that's why I don't limit my daughters, because I grew up with video games and I know the influence it had on me.
Right.
And like you said, for me it was really inspiring. I got a lot of my visual ideas from video games and whatnot.
Yeah.
So, and I kind of see that in her, which is why I don't really, like you said, if it gets too much, then I'll step in. But for the most part,
dad comes out, not the friend.
Yeah, you go.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So for the most part, she's been using it for inspiration. Like she goes and draws right after she plays or something. So
yeah, exactly.
it's
Yeah,
cool.
That's fucking beautiful, man.
That's good, because like I'll honestly admit that like I think one of the biggest things like for me, like I kind of regret is not figuring out what I want to do as a passion for for a long time. Like me having ADHD and constantly just always getting bored of something, and it's just like it took so long for me to find out that I wanted to do music, and it's just like I feel like if my creativity if I was able to exploit my creativity a lot earlier in my life, then it might have been a lot easier for me to find out that music is actually what I really wanted to do. Whereas most of the time it's just like 1 hour of gameplay a day. That's all you can have. Yeah. Then you do your homework. And then it's just, especially nowadays, it's even harder for kids because the workloads that the states are putting on as their standards that have to be met, their criteria is just so much more, and there's so much more stress and all this other crap that's going on in the world that it's hard for kids to enjoy their creativity when they're young, because the first thing that we start grinding into them is like, oh, you got to get a job, you got to go to school, you got to do that.
Yeah,
it's such an early age.
Yeah, it's such an early age. Like you hear like kids about like everyone has their dream job. Like, you know what I wanted to do when I was a kid? I wanted to be a fucking garbage man. because I thought operating something that smashed, like something that was so mechanical, and like watching the guys like this is back in the day when you had a guy pick up.
Garbage guys make bank too.
Yeah,
though.
like,
Hey,
Like-
like,
like,
I'm talking. Look back into that, bro.
yeah, like I'm talking about like no, but I'm talking about the guys that used to like pick up the trash.
He was
can.
fascinated by the fact that he wanted to throw something into something that was going to crush it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was just crazy. Like it's just like when you watch these guys. Like I used to wake up before Saturday morning cartoons to watch the garbage guy.
Hold up.
Sorry, Nickelodeon. I didn't have cable, dude. I was on Channel 5. Like I was
watching, like,
waiting.
Fox
Hey,
Kids.
yo,
Yeah,
but
like
fucking
Fox
Dragon Ball
Kids.
Z used to come on
Yeah,
Channel 5.
exactly.
K5
exactly.
the home
That's
team.
when I moved here and I started watching Channel 5 on Saturday mornings. I discovered anime and I was like, what the fuck is this shit?
That's
Yeah.
Funimation, yeah.
Holy fucking
And
shit.
as then right after, because like I used to watch this guy. Like I used to go out and wave to him. As the trash guys drove by, I'm like, oh my god, that was the coolest shit ever. Like, bye. like all my neighbors are putting their trash cans. Like, what the hell is this kid doing out on a Saturday at 6 o'clock in the morning? What the fuck's going on? They're fucking running back to the house, and then I watch.
What if he
and then I would
drew
watch
inspiration
cartoons.
from you, dog? Like one day he's like, "Hey man, I gotta go out here and do my job because that kid is gonna be waiting.
That kid is so happy.
Crush this trash."
That kid is so happy that I'm taking his trash away.
You grew up
I
in the
do
same
this for
house,
him.
right?
Yeah, no. Well, the house I live in now
okay.
is next door to
I
my
wonder
old
if it's
house.
like the same garbage guy.
No, I don't know. It's the same
I remember like being like early one of those early mornings we had at your house. Remember that one time? Yeah, I don't know if you wanna.
I don't care.
Okay. Yeah.
Turn it up.
We did a bunch of whippets one morning at Tron. Like so much whippets,
Which
and then
occasion?
fucking it's not something we do all the time. But then we threw all the way the
Fun
empty,
in moderation.
we threw away all the empty whippet canisters into the garbage bin in the front that was waiting for the garbage man to come. And when the garbage man came,
Clank, 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 clank.
Yeah,
clank,
no,
clank, clank.
yes, no, we were inside the house, and like you just hear, brrrr, and it's just like, and I was just like, oh my god! It was actually from the house party that is the reason why my dad installed all the cameras around the house. That was the one. I think we went through about 17 boxes of 25 chargers.
Holy shit!
Fuck.
Yeah, the picture that was on my old Facebook one, the me lying on the ground with all the empty whippet canisters. Yeah, from the party. Yeah, that was the one. And then
God, that nice.
I
I was just
still have
thinking if
it.
that was like the same garbage man who
I'm kind
saw little Tron fucking waving at him, and now he's just like, what?
What is
Well, then you gotta think too. This guy might have no concept for what that clinking was.
Yeah,
he could have just been like, "Why is this clinking so much?" and just did not understand what a whippet is at all.
That was just probably one of the fucking funniest
That
sounds I've
Tron
ever
finally
heard.
got
at,
to
like,
live
1
out his
morning.
dream, get to crush a bunch of shit. Got to hear all those little clink clink clinks.
Well,
Fuck.
just to kind of bring it back around, it's more and more about moderation, because one of the struggles that I still fight with is my discipline. And I think that part of the reason why I don't have as strong a discipline as I would like is because I wasn't forced to stop doing something that I like to do to go and work on something else that was meaningful. And so I don't have that
But
discipline.
at the same time, it's just like if you're so oppressed at the beginning.
No, I agree. It's moderation.
Yeah.
It's moderation.
It is. I can totally agree with moderation because I was so oppressed when it happened when I was a kid. When I got older, I tended to have a higher lack of discipline because I was so disciplined as
Exactly.
a kid to keep stuff.
And that's one of the upsides to like your situation growing up was you had the discipline up front, and then when you found your creativity, you're able to apply the discipline to your creativity. Like I had my creativity up front, but I didn't have the discipline, and so now I'm having what I think is the harder task of trying to find my discipline while still
this is
creating
our
creative-
manager.
Nah, I feel you, man. Like me, I didn't really growing up. Even now, like I'm into so much different things, and I think it's detrimental to the amount of like. Okay, I rap, I DJ, I produce, and I have all these other little side projects. I just started this podcasting thing, and I always think to myself like, fuck, maybe I would
Web
be
design,
like super
video
like.
edit.
I would be like super badass at this. I could be super like badass at this one thing if I didn't
Jack
do
of
all
all
these
trades.
other things. Jack of all trades, master of none, is the point I'm getting. But maybe if I was more disciplined in one particular art form, I would be able to express that form of art to its greatest potential if I just had that one. But then at the same time, I think I have that little ADHD mentality too. I think I was just like I get bored with certain things and I just fucking jump
Well, I mean,
around.
part of it too.
It's the mind of an artist.
Yeah,
It's just the chaos that breeds in all of our minds. Every single person here is an artist in their own aspect.
Yeah, man.
And it's just like when you have all that chaos is going through it, you have to find outlets for it.
Yeah.
And when you can't find that one outlet that speaks the most to you, you pick several.
Yeah.
Like all of us here do so much random shit
Yeah.
that it's when it comes to podcast or music or art or whatever it is, or even video games. And it's just like that's just part of being an artist.
And well, the thing too is like art itself is kind of ADHD, where while at this point you might like, oh, I'm
picture
really
speaks
into
1,000 words.
editing video, and then like tomorrow you're like, I want to edit fucking music, or now I want to write comedy, or now I want to just write a novel, and it just art just kind of bounces all the fuck around. And I think that it's almost bad to try and like, I mean, it's incredible to focus in on one thing and like see how far the art can go down that path. But at the same time, you're not experiencing art as a whole by just focusing on one art. Whereas now you can, because you're doing this jack of all trades sort of thing, you're experiencing art through all these different mediums. And while you're not seeing how far down the hole it goes, you get to see it in a variety of
broader
different
sense,
ways.
like,
Yeah, man. I
holistically.
don't think you should limit yourself artistically. I think that's
No,
good
definitely
for
not.
you. I think you should just get better at like time management or something.
Yeah.
Boom.
Point.
Yeah, that's one fucking thing I really need to fucking work on. Time management. Is there an art
And
class for that?
organization.
I don't know.
See?
I don't know, man. How many artists do you know are fucking like organized?
That's why I say time management, bro.
It's a hard thing to do is do organization. And that's the thing too is like I
My
have
wife
a,
is the organizer.
and that's the thing too is while I have a very creative brain, I also have a very logical and organized brain. So like I don't think I have an actual OCD, but I have like very
habits.
close to OCD where like things need to be just about perfect, or at least perfect enough that I can be okay with it and forget about it. And so that inhibits me when I'm doing my art thing too, is because I'm sitting there like I spent 30 minutes trying to organize this wire.
Yo, man, this dude is art and science. Like his new nickname is Michelangelo.
No, more like
Damn.
Leonardo, like
do
as
this.
in the Ninja Turtle.
Cowabunga. Oh, wait, wrong dude.
No, they all said it.
Yeah.
But what do you call it?
No, it was mostly just Mike.
Was it Mike? Oh, Mike.
Yeah,
was
Mike was
Michelangelo was
Cowabunga.
Cowabunga pizza.
That was my dude, though.
That was
I feel-
everyone's dude.
Everyone's dude.
I think I am Michelangelo. I grew up and became
What people
him.
don't realize is that the turtles.
Hey, Michelangelo might have been a stoner. You know?
I mean, that's why, bro. He
what
totally
people
was.
don't realize is that all four turtles are all part of or they're an aspect of the same person, and so it's your different sides coming out at different times.
Actually, was it? I wanted to bring this up earlier, like when we were all talking about like discipline and like what we choose to do and stuff like that. Like, because it brought this this phrase. I'll say, I'm sorry. It brought this phrase up that I not really came. I don't know if I came up with it or
Just
if
say
it
it.
just came spur of the moment. Well, no, because there's a story. There's a story to it. That's why. Because what happened was like I had this I was gonna be hosting a homestay, like some student from Okinawa and everything. And he constantly wanted to talk to me over emails. And I never had all the time to do it, but I'd talk to him as much as I could because he wanted to talk. And then one day he mentioned that, like, oh, I'm sorry if I'm talking too much or if I'm asking so much. I just really want to learn like English and practice it, and I want to experience all this stuff. And what I told him, like, it was all spur of the moment, was that, nah, don't worry about it. Like, being selfish is being human. Being like unselfish is being God.
Shit, bro.
Like, we as humans, we're gonna be doing everything we want to do. Like, just do it. Like, you're being human. If you choose, like, oh, you got all these things that you want to do. You want to play video games. You want to make art. You want to design, like, what is it, visualizations. You want to do anything. Just go ahead and do it. Don't feel bad if you're doing it and you're not spending too much time doing this that you kind of wanted to do. Like, whatever you focus your time in, it's just you being human. Like I know I kind of went off the deep
Walker
end
getting
over there.
deep again,
That was
bro.
crazy, bro.
Going deep.
Yeah, we're going balls deep, people.
I'm about to go roll a blunt.
Going balls deep again, pulling them heartstrings.
Shit.
What was the name of that one podcast when we did it with astronauts? But was it Tron goes balls deep or something like that?
No. It's like
Astronauts by Night goes balls deep or something.
something getting deep
Hashtag.
with Tron and,
I think that's just like the title of your life is what that is.
I mean, like I didn't want to. I wanted
Those balls
to
deep.
get it out because like it's a
Yeah.
thought that I've had a lot
It's a
of
great
times,
thought.
you know, I do
Nah,
all
that's
the time.
dope, bro.
people
you
even
know,
died.
People like you to be unselfish is like you're just like I mean it's probably one act every so often that you do something unselfish, and that makes you a better person.
Yeah.
You know, it makes you better than who you are as a human. But I feel like like whatever we succumb to, I think everybody should just like acknowledge that like hey, we're all human. It might not be the choice that we want to take. It might not be the
You gotta own it. Own
Yeah.
own your decisions and your actions and shit.
yeah. So it's accept the fact that you're human and keep trying to strive to be better.
What kind of philosophy do you go after?
Yeah, I actually wanted to chime in because, I'm actually, a working artist. So I run my own business. So I make money off my art, which is basically freelance work. Lucky for corporations and businesses. So, yeah, and I just wanted to say that, you actually, if you take your art to that level, you actually do kind of learn how to be more disciplined and know when to stop. See, that was my problem too. Is like I couldn't stop. Like when's a project done?
Oh yeah,
I just want to keep going. I just want to keep.
learning.
That's why we
learning
have
to
like
walk
5
away.
projects on the side.
Learning to walk away is one of the hardest things to do when it comes to creation.
Yeah, I mean, so that was one thing that doing it as a living gave me was okay. You have a budget. It's like
And there's a firm deadline.
there's a firm deadlines. But that also goes back to hip hop. It's like okay, what do I want to do? I want to make an album. 10 tracks. Set the goal in your mind. What do you want to create, and just stop once you're there. A lot of people they want to do like 20 tracks. Double LP or whatever. It's like, yeah, just figure out what you want to accomplish and just go for that, and then move on to the next thing.
Word up. Yeah, I have an issue with fucking finishing shit. I always start and always get to a point where like, okay, let's go start another thing. But
No artist like
Speaking of which, when are you gonna finish the Astronauts of by Night website?
I'm waiting for all the stuff that I was trying to send me.
That we're doing this after.
that's-
This is
I know. I'm
after.
just,
No.
I'm
That's-
just,
that's-
I'm just fucking with you. I'm just fucking with you. I'm just fucking with you.
You're gonna eat some crispy pork.
I heard the tracks, man. They're dope. So
Thank you.
I look forward to it.
What was it? I got a video on Instagram now. That was the latest thing we've been working on. It's like too repetitive, but it's catchy as hell.
I actually, one of the things that I want to do with them is because they're getting into these realms now, where they're capturing sound and unaltering and whatnot. And one of the things that I want to take them out and do is just go out and with the little Zoom recorder and whatnot, and just find random weird, like go on a hike and just like do random crazy shit. Huh?
Random crazy shit.
I was talking about taking cozies out and doing it.
Yeah, we can go. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, dude. Fucking one of these days.
Right now.
Record some turtles fucking.
That'll help me find some like really creative sounds.
Check out that sound over there.
It's traveling. Wait, guys, just capture the sound that's happening around us right now. Can't you hear it? It's fucking crazy.
That reminds me. You guys watch Ghostbusters? Yeah.
Yeah.
The first
Yeah.
one. You know that where it's
Yeah.
like, shh. Do you smell that? do you remember that scene in the library? And they're like, shh. Do you smell?
Like what? Attack on me. I thought that was an attack on me, and I'm like, what? I was like, I didn't do anything. I was like, why are you? I was like, I didn't smell anything. I didn't do anything that smells. What are you talking about?
Not any things about
There comes
you, Tron.
there comes that super ego just popping up. Super ego just floating to the surface right there.
Hey, we all got a super ego.
We all do. It's all part of everybody. That was actually one
It's a
of the
bird.
things.
It's a plane. It's my super ego.
That was actually one of the things that recently came up. My super ego.
Nice.
Wait, recently came up what?
Oh no, I've watching this show, Other Space that I was talking about.
Oh yeah.
I realized while I was watching it that it's a metaphor for people because there's 3 male characters and 3 female characters, and the 3 male characters represent the id, ego, and superego of the male personality, and the 3 females represent the id, ego, and superego of the female personality. And the metaphor throughout the show is that this is all part of one person, and they're constantly going through this fight of who's in control. And each of the, like, if you watch it, you'll see that each of the characters are these incredibly super exaggerated versions of it, and it really makes you understand like how what.
No, I think I'm gonna like this show.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking amazing.
Like, it reminds me of like one of my favorite movies, which I based my first like solo album on. I wanted to. I didn't really. Identity. Mm-hmm. You ever watch Identity? Yeah. It's about like all the people in the fucking in the motel getting killed off, and each of those people happen to be a part of this schizophrenic's personality, and he's fighting with himself inside of his head to kill all of them
Wait, are we talking about Fight Club?
No. This is
schizophrenic. Man, you know what the first rule of Fight Club is? Of course we aren't talking about it. Of course we
bad.
It's called Identity as like fucking John Cusack or something.
Yeah,
I don't know if
I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
But it reminds
Good movie.
Yeah, it's kind of along those lines where like each of these people are like facets of this one person's
well,
personality.
the thing that was that really struck me was that there's a total of 8 cast members. Like I said, the 3 male and the 3 female.
Yeah.
And then there's 2 more that have been named Zalian and Art. And the whole thing, like I said, the whole thing is this giant metaphor. What the fuck are you doing?
No, we might as well call it out. I mean, don't mean to interrupt.
Oh my god. Anyway, so
his girlfriend's watching, and like she's like, "Oh, I like that garbage man story."
So, but anyway, so the other 2 characters in the show are this a character named Zalian and a character named Art, and the concept is Zalian is this part of us that's a piece of us, but we don't know where it came from, and it's different, and we don't understand it, but it works. And so we're constantly like, we want to accept it, but we don't want to accept it, and it always helps us, but we're scared of it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then the other character is Art, who is just he's it's someone's interpretation of art incarnate, where it's just visceral and carnal and wants to just do nothing but like spy on people and do crazy weird shit, and that's what art is. It's like I said, the whole thing, like as you're watching this show, you see this single person fighting with their feminine side and their masculine side, as well as this foreign identity that's always been a part of them, as well as the factors of art coming in, just causing shit to get stirred up.
What show is this again?
Other Space.
This is all the same show.
Yes.
We're still talking about the same thing.
Other Space.
Yeah, like I'm sorry I brought ourselves to the deep end, but we went deep,
It's
man.
fucking crazy.
I was thinking we were talking about 2 different shows.
It's
that
so
were very
ridiculously
similar.
crazy. Like
No, that's cool though.
once you watching it and you see it for what it is, you're like the connections just continue streaming through. You're just like, holy fuck! Every little thing, like it's a masterpiece in writing. It's amazing,
man. That was a cool story.
Yeah.
It wasn't a garbage man story.
No, it wasn't a garbage man story.
It was a cool story.
I think that garbage man story was a little inspiring.
Yeah, dude, that was pretty. You know what
I mean, when you're a kid,
a want for power.
Everybody's got weird shit. You know,
It's
like,
a want for power, man.
But like, it's
I wanted to be a fire truck, not even a
be a
fireman.
fire truck? You wanted to-
I wanted to be the truck. So
You guys
there
would be
you
like
go.
next door neighbors. Man.
I definitely went through a period of time where I wanted to be a dinosaur. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah. Growing up, I wanted to be a fucking paleontologist because Jurassic
Hell
Park
yeah.
was like the
I
fucking
had
movie
that
when I was
dream
growing
too.
up, dude. Fuck.
Dude,
I
2
thought
days.
so too many.
2 days from now, the first full trailer for Jurassic World's coming out.
Yeah, so wait, when is that coming out now? I've been hearing so much about it, and then it was
this summer, right?
Yeah, it's supposed to be this summer.
because I haven't seen any like trailers since they came out with that first one.
Yeah.
Has like Star-Lord in it, right?
Yeah, come on, though.
Yeah,
But-
Star-Lord.
But Star Wars is coming out soon.
Dude, not only
Come on. Okay.
No,
Star
yeah,
Wars
the
2
Star
trailer,
Wars
come on.
is coming
It's
out.
December though, right?
Christmas.
Hypoetical.
Not too much. But
Oh, whoa!
not
Wait,
as much as you guys
what?
probably.
Man,
Let me say this. Let me say this about it. Like, I fell out of Star Wars. Like, I was really into Star Wars for a long time.
I remember Ben in 8th grade. His mom made him the coolest fucking Jedi fucking
Oh,
outfit.
man.
And he
Yeah,
had the
like, it was
cloak,
full on.
The fucking lightsaber, the utility belt
Wow.
that she actually dyed brown for him. Like, it was one of the coolest fucking things I've seen. And like,
Yeah.
me and him weren't even really close back then. And it was just like, this is like 7th grade, right?
7th, 8th grade, yeah.
And I saw him walk around. I'm like, yo, What's that guy's name? He's like, Ben. I was like Ben Kenobi? Holy shit.
Yeah. Bro,
Wait,
you
walking
fucking
around
could
like
totally be a
school?
Jedi.
Yeah, like for Halloween.
Look at him.
Oh,
He
yeah.
looks like a
It was
Jedi.
for Halloween.
Look at him.
It was for Halloween. I was walking around and shit.
Man, fuck that. I dressed up as Inuyasha for Halloween, man.
Oh,
I was in
shit.
7th, 8th grade.
Well,
There you
like
go.
I had on a big, huge cardboard sword. It was fucking dope.
I will-
Go look at Ali Manu's yearbook. Was it 2000?
when
I'm in there.
when you're dressed, I full on like dressed up as Darth Maul, and it was like the worst fucking Darth Maul outfit ever. You know, store bought and stuff, and it wasn't worse. It wasn't bad because of the outfit, but it was bad because I was like a short, fat Filipino kid in a Darth Maul costume. You know, with the face paint and everything.
Oh, shit,
Like
dude.
in hindsight, I think about how I looked back then. I was like, oh man, that
You've been,
cosplay.
been hanging out too much at the cantina, drinking a little too much beer.
the point I was trying to get at before we got sidetracked was like I was really into Star Wars, and as I started to grow as an artist and started to like understand metaphor and writing and whatnot, I really fell out of Star Wars hard
Like the whole
because of
religious undertones.
No, because of the how horrible 1, 2, and 3 were.
Oh, okay.
Like,
I don't
they're
even
just
count
so
those,
bad.
man.
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
they were
see,
like
that's
they
the thing.
contributed. I think like
I like them
I'm
as
growing to like
when I
to
seen them
dislike
like when they came out in theaters. I fucking love them, but
Oh, yeah.
like watching them again as an adult, knowing
Exactly.
what I
That's
know
what
now, then
happened.
is- yeah,
That's what happens. Like I just lost all joy for it. Like seeing them kind of go through and just realizing like there was this incredible great thing that George Lucas didn't know when to stop and kept editing it down more and more and more.
Yeah.
And it took away what was so amazing about it. And then he started making 1, 2, and 3, and there was just nothing that was there in the original. Because what people don't realize too is like, yeah, George Lucas wrote the original, but he didn't direct any of 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah, what is it? He directed.
I think he directed. He
first
directed.
one.
No, he didn't even direct
No?
the first one.
well,
No, because I know there's a
next
different
two, he
director
was
for
like-
the 5th one. I know that
Yeah.
like there's different directors for
Yeah.
each of them. The director for the 5th one was I can't remember who it was, but he was a genius. Dude.
Yeah, he was
Empire
another
Strike Back.
genius.
He like Empire Strike Back was like it was. I mean, it wasn't supposed to be like I guess it wasn't. It was dark, but it was like wasn't in a sense supposed to be portrayed that dark, and he made it that way. And
That was like the most successful independent film of
Of
all
its
time,
time,
right? All
Yeah.
time.
One of it, yeah.
the technology
Empire
they did
Strikes
for that.
Back was at least
Yeah.
because Empire
that
Strikes
big
Back
guy.
and Return of the Jedi were like financed by out of pocket by George Lucas.
Partially. I,
think.
mean, they're still studio films.
Yeah,
Like,
Uh-huh.
yeah, they weren't. That was. They're as close to independent as you could get before there really was an independent scene.
yeah. I don't know. Yeah, that original trilogy though, watching it today, it holds some sort of magic. And seeing that new trailer that came out on,
Yeah, exactly. That's
fucking
what I was
Monday-
getting to.
Let's go.
That new trailer just completely like reinvigorated me. It was like, holy fuck,
Holy shit!
this could actually be really good now.
Oh my
that-
God, no! It's gonna be so great.
It's
It's gonna
gonna
be
be
so
fucking
great.
great.
I don't give.
I've known several people who have cried
Well,
watching
I'll
that trailer.
even just say this: it's like J.J. Abrams. It's like I've never really followed his work before, but then
He's
I really,
amazing.
but then I
He's a
realized,
beast,
like,
dog.
I mean, like, I wasn't never
Lens
really a Star
flare.
Trek fan, and then I watched the Star Treks that he directed,
Yeah.
and they were,
those
and
are
like
dope.
the one thing
Yeah,
that was
fuck Star
awesome
Trek
about it
until
was
he
that
started doing
was
it.
that
Exactly.
it, like the one thing that was
fuck
awesome
that
about it
shit.
was it grabbed this whole new generation's attention for Star Trek, and it pleased even the old school Star Trek fans because
Yeah.
it goes off on a separate timeline, right? Because
Yeah.
of the wormhole,
It creates
it
a
creates a
different-
whole
a
different
different
timeline.
timeline.
And then it also like it pleases the old Trekkies as well as, and it grabs all these new people.
Yeah, man.
And now he's taking on Star Wars.
Yeah,
It's like if he's able to do this with Star Trek, which is I believe older than Star Wars.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very much so. Yeah.
So it's just like I can't imagine.
talking like almost a 20-year
how good,
difference.
Like
Yeah,
everyone's
Star Trek
ragging
was
like,
some
oh, there's no
bullshit before, though.
three-blade lightsaber. What the fuck is it? No, like no, like we don't even know how it's gonna be. Like
Wait,
it's
what?
like J.J. Abrams has already done something so amazing with Star Trek. I can't wait to see what he does with
See,
Star Trek.
that's the thing too. Is like when
Yeah.
when you look at like when people first talked about like Disney acquired Marvel and then Disney acquired LucasArts, it was like a lot of people were just hating on it right away.
Yeah.
But then like one of the first things that I remember like this is one of the first things that, like I had this thought about it on my own without someone else telling me was I was thinking like, well, I mean, I've never seen something that Disney's done that wasn't like really good. And so,
That's true.
and we know from experience through Pixar that Disney has a reputation of just taking something that's already nice and giving people who are great at doing it the opportunity to do
make
it better.
Yeah.
And so they picked J.J. Abrams to head front it. They've just given it this massive budget. They're going back to less CGI, more practical effects.
Hell yeah! No, that's why you look at it. It's
Yeah.
really good. It's really
it's
good
gonna be
compared to the
amazing.
third
Fucking
one.
feels
Like-
like Star Wars.
Yeah, it feels like the
Now-
original,
The original
the
trilogy.
4,
At
5,
that-
and 6.
At that same time, I am incredibly worried about the new Batman versus fucking Superman.
Did you see the trailer?
It fucking scares the shit out of me
Yeah,
because I was so excited. Like I'm much more of a DC guy than I'm a Marvel guy, but I love the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The Marvel Cinematic Universe is amazing. They picked incredible people to run their cinematic
James
universe.
Gunn
It's
doing what is it?
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh my God.
Joss Whedon's running Avengers.
Yeah.
It's just great talent all around.
It's so good.
Now, one of the things that that I've noticed is like Warner Brothers, who owns DC, they kind of got their start as a movie studio. That's where they became this giant conglomerate. Where then from this movie studio, they had enough money to start acquiring these other things. So they were always a movie studio first. And it feels to me like whenever they're going to go do a DC property, they're sitting there like, we're a movie people. We know how to make movies. Let us handle this. And they just fuck it up.
Yeah.
And it still worries me, especially after seeing this new trailer. That was like, this doesn't look good, because I was really excited for Man of Steel.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was gonna be so amazing. Then I
Yo,
went and
fuck
saw
that
it.
shit, man.
I went and saw it, and I remember.
Not just 'cause Superman is a bitch.
Well, the thing about me is like I said, I'm a huge DC guy, so like I know Superman's storyline, and I know like the reasons why things that happened in the storyline happened.
Yeah.
And I remember sitting there watching it and going, I'm gonna let it go. Like through the entire movie, I was just like, oh, I'm gonna let that go, because it's a movie where they're changing it up, and then just constantly, I'm gonna let that go. I'm gonna let that go. And then by the end of it, when he just fucking cracks Zod's neck and just kills him out of nowhere, and just after like destroying most of the fucking world, practically, it's just like, nope, fuck this, I'm out. It was just like, no.
I said I'm gonna let this go.
Maybe this
Never
is
watch
before
this motherfucking
Crisis.
movie
Maybe
again.
this is before
I did.
Crisis.
I watched it
Fuck
again, and
this
it
shit.
still pissed
Why'd
me
you
off.
do that?
It was so bad.
Tried to give it a
Bad.
chance.
I was trying to give it another chance.
Maybe
Fuck that
these
shit.
movies are before Infinite Crisis in a sense. Because
No.
because you know how like all the universes all completely changed, and that's why they created New 52. Maybe this is like it's all gonna be different. Hopefully, it's all gonna be different later.
See, now the thing too is like I also have I have hope for the DC franchise in the cinematic era, because I remember reading a press conference, a press release about the Shazam movie they're doing, which is one of my favorite characters.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
Captain
I
Marvel.
can't wait for that one. Was it
When
Rock's
the
playing
Rock's
Black Adam?
gonna play Black Adam.
Black Adam.
And when they announced officially that The Rock was going to play Black Adam, because there's this big thing of like, oh, is he going to play Shazam, or is he going
Shazam,
to play
yeah.
Black Adam?
Yeah.
What is he going to do? And they announced officially that they're going to do it. And I read through the whole article, and like they had just like, it was almost a cliff note right at the bottom of the article. They're saying that Jeff Johns, which is probably the biggest executive producer, or
The
practically,
best,
he's the art director basically at DC right now.
Yeah.
He's co-writing the Shazam script, and so I was like,
Oh,
okay,
shit.
Warner's finally letting a comic book person write on a
write the
comic
shit.
book movie instead of just someone who.
That might not be a bad turnout. Like Batman
Yeah.
versus Superman: Dawn of Justice might be like, but
they're
that-
still going really fucking dark.
Yeah. I think the TV series is going a lot better than.
No, yeah,
and for CW's like
that's the thing is,
reputation, it's actually really good.
Cable Warner, or whatever the CW stands for, like the network TV section.
Warmers.
There you go.
Yeah.
They're doing fucking fantastic. Arrow is amazing. Flash is amazing.
Don't tell me anything about the new stuff. I haven't watched it yet. I mean,
They're both incredible. They're releasing. They just announced too. And this is the thing too, is like I was telling TJ, he can confirm this. Like 2 weeks before they announced it, because they kept introducing these new characters that are all part of the DC universe into the shows. And I was sitting there, I was like, there's gonna be a fucking third show, because they did Arrow for a season, and then during the second season they announced that they're doing Flash also, and then as the Flash is playing and Green Arrow is playing, there's more and more characters keep popping up, and I'm sitting there like, they're gonna make a fucking third show. There's gonna be I'm calling it Justice Society of America.
they brought up
because
was it Katana? They brought up Wildcat. They brought up who else was there that you have
Adam.
Adam's in there now.
Yeah.
Of course you have the Flash and the Arrow. You have Black Canary. You got Arsenal. You got like all these characters are starting to pop up big time, and like
And sure enough, 2 weeks after I have this thought of them doing a JSA TV show, they come out and announce that they're going to do a series where it doesn't focus on any one. It just jumps back and forth between these different heroes. That
It's
going to
be like an Avengers in a sense. Like
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
A TV show. They're crossing.
It's the Justice Society of America, which
That's
if
pretty
you've
dope.
read the Justice Society comics, the way that it's been set up was the Justice League was the big row, and
Yeah.
the Justice Society was the training team for the Justice League. And so it was all these guys, like they don't have like Superman power, but they got enough power to like make a difference kind
Yeah.
of thing. And so they are prepping them so that if the Justice League ever does need them, then they're ready for it, and they're just kind of learning off of each other, making each other better, and still defending the world in this little aspect that they can.
Aren't they doing like some kind of crossover shit with like the Marvel universe with that whole Agents of Shield show?
Oh
on
yeah,
ABC?
no, yeah.
Nah,
Speaking,
yeah,
Hey,
I watched a little bit of it.
Agents of Shield is fantastic.
Yeah.
I got partially into Special Agent Carter.
Agent
Yeah,
Carter.
Agent
Yeah.
Carter.
Has anybody watched the Daredevil one yet?
I've been
Yo,
watching.
I saw
it.
the
Yeah,
I saw the
it's
pilot.
How's it?
I saw-
It's so
it's
fucking
so
good.
good.
It is
The fucking fight scenes, dude. Bruh.
Go Netflix.
And they
Get
yeah,
into that shit.
and the thing too is it's still
I gotta watch it.
it's still tied into
Me
it's
too.
still tied into the Marvel universe.
Nice.
So one of the first things that they bring up is that there's been because they're in Hell's Kitchen, and they're like, oh, there's been a lot of destruction throughout the city because of that big fight that happened, and they constantly are talking about how there are these bigger powers in the world, but we're just focusing on Hell's Kitchen. And Daredevil is just starting off kind of doing his thing there. He doesn't even have the red suit yet. This is back when, like, I don't know if you've read any of Daredevil's original stuff, but he just had like this black hood that he fucking pulled over his face kind of thing. And that's the way it started off in this story
So
too.
eventually he's gonna probably.
Well, they're
by
saying
the
the
end
second
of
season.
one. They're
Yeah,
gonna
like-
have him with the full suit.
Yeah, I think they're saying officially in the second season is when he starts wearing the red suit.
Because that was like with Arrow. Like, was the whole first season he was just wearing this hood that he like had from one of his from his past and stuff like that. And eventually by the end, I think this is the end of it was somewhere between the
Middle
first
of
season on the second season.
Well, at the end of the first season, he stops killing and becomes more closer to what we know as Green Arrow.
yeah, and then his
and then,
outfit just started.
yeah,
becoming
in the-
more realistic
Through the second season, it becomes more like Green Arrow as far as like the looks and aesthetics. That's when they introduced Barry Allen, who's the Flash. And Barry Allen's the one who's like, stop painting your eyes. You should wear a mask instead.
makes him a mask. And
Yeah, like just influences all. It's really cool, and they're doing very similar with the Daredevil one.
Just imagine watching comics.
What do you guys think about Suicide
like, you know how
Squad?
you have, like, different
Like Jared
comics
Leto's
creators
gonna play
and
the. Sorry, Wonka.
It's watching it.
Into the mic, man. I can't hear you.
Okay, sorry.
What were you
okay.
saying?
No, just imagine watching a comic instead of reading it. You're just watching it because they have like these two lines. They're two different seasons or two different series, but they're tied in together. And,
It's like reading
Yeah.
two different lines of a comic book.
That are
We're like,
tied.
oh, I just finished this thing. Now I'm gonna go over here, and oh look, they're crossing over just like they did in the other book that I just saw.
yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
I need to watch the new episodes. I'm slacking right now because
really good.
I don't have money for my account. I'm probably
Come on,
just going to
DC.
use Ben's
So what-
Hulu
what were
and
you-
get on that shit.
What were you asking, Cozy?
I was asking about what you thought about like Suicide Squad with like fucking Jared Leto's gonna play the Joker. I think Will
Smith's
Smith's
playing,
It worries me.
Deadshot.
that I think is not going to go so good.
It worries me because those giant names attached to it, especially with DC's track record in cinema.
I think it's
Yeah.
going to turn out like how X-Men did when it started off.
Yeah, it's got potential to be amazing because there's some really great, amazing talent attached to it.
Yeah.
But if the writing isn't there and there's not a cohesive, like we don't know who's top on the call sheet.
Yeah.
And one of the things that you figure out when you get into like the making TV and making movies and whatnot is there's the director's in control of everything with assistance from the producers, but as much of the control as he has, he can't really wrangle the actors as well as whoever the lead actor is. And I don't think they've announced who's going to lead who's going to be top of the call sheet,
Well-
because whoever's top of the call sheet sets the tone for the entire show, for the entire movie.
How would you make a main character throughout the Suicide Squad?
That's the thing is I don't know if it's going to have one, and if it doesn't, then you're going to have all these different talents.
Well, didn't
bumping
Deadshot
heads.
kind of call the shots though when it came to the Suicide
I
Squad?
thought it was Harley.
More or less.
Was it Harley?
No.
No, because I know I know there's one comic where they had a thing, but I mean I don't know.
Yeah.
Like
it was mostly Deadshot because he was the planner and the meticulous guy. I didn't read a terrible ton of Suicide Squad, but I know that like it's interesting because it does have this aspect because they're all villains, they're all out for their own, and so it might be interesting in a cinema. Kind of, yeah. But it might be interesting if we're watching it and we see these actors bumping against, because that's the way the villains would do it. They don't really want to work together. They want to kind of shine on their own kind of thing. And so it might be interesting, but if it's not handled properly, which is like I can't think of a way to fucking handle it properly. And so I'm sure there's someone out there much better than I am who probably could. The thing is that person assigned to direct this thing and produce it?
So I know we're all like big comic nerd fans over here, you know, comic books and all that stuff like that, you know, like should we kind of go a little more into... Yeah, I think we kind of did deviate a little bit from the main thing. I mean, we got like... No, it was your fault. You brought up Star Wars.
Of course it was Tron.
We all got nuts with like comic books.
That's how podcast works, man.
Yeah.
No, I just wanted to know if there's a direction we wanted to take.
Well, I mean, it's just talking about art.
Nah, we just out here, bro.
I mean,
shit.
I'm
Y'all
like
wanna
looking
talk
over at
about
you guys,
weed?
and you guys are like, on your phones, and like I'm like,
We can talk about weed, Kevin.
let's talk about weed. Have you tried that CBD stuff?
I actually have.
Yo, I had bought some from fucking Eric Dem shop.
Yeah, the other astronaut was in here the other day.
No, 'cause-
Yeah, I bought some.
The other astronaut was here the other day, and I'm like,
that
oh,
shit.
Yep.
That shit's kind of crazy. Like, cause I had smoked prior to trying the CBD, and I looked up that CBD actually counteracts the negative symptoms, I guess, of THC.
Yeah.
And as soon as it's in a liquid form that you vape, like you add it to your vape liquid. But I just dripped it onto my onto the cotton on my vape, and I vaped it, and within maybe 30 seconds, dude, I felt like the high sort of kind of lifted, but I still felt like euphoric and shit, you know.
Yeah, no, same here.
Yeah, it
Like
was
even like
kinda
I'm not a like the main thing I just never really liked about like weed like it's just because I always got that kind of like just what's the
Lethargy.
No, not that. But what's the two different types of weeds again?
Indica and sativa.
Which one puts you on your ass?
Indica.
Yeah, that's. How do you know about this?
He's science bad.
He's your fact checker, man.
Yeah, there you go. No, it's just like I've never really liked that kind of like put
That
down
fucking
feeling.
heavy
Yeah,
feeling.
yeah,
right?
like
yeah.
And the
Not too
thing,
much,
and
but-
that's
So
part of
you
the reason
probably,
why I don't smoke weed very often is because like it's really hard to find like an actual sativa anymore. They're all like these
everything's like
blends
hybrid
of
shit.
indicas and sativas.
Yeah, because I've always wanted to try like something that gets you like really mental heavy and like gets your brain working. But like most of the stuff I find down here, especially in Hawaii, is stuff that just goes
heavy.
along with Hawaiian time.
Yeah.
Or
Jason-
Hawaii time, just like,
Jason, remember when I told you should never do acid?
yeah.
I was wrong. You should totally do acid if you actually
I'm
want
not
to
doing
have
it
that
this
minus-
Friday. No, I'm
no,
good.
I'm not saying doing it this Friday. I'm
Man,
saying
you wanna smoke
Oh,
some
okay,
at
I'm
some
sorry,
point
Saturday,
in the future.
no.
At some point in the future, like
smoked
I was
with you
wrong.
already.
Well,
What time
we
of
should
cozy-
smoke again,
Oh, my
dog.
God.
That's what I'm saying. It's
No, but
never
then,
a
like, when I
one-time
tried that,
thing.
Yeah, when I tried that CBD stuff, it was crazy because like I usually would just hit a few of it before I go to sleep, and then it was just like I'd feel all warm and fuzzy and like, and it was really good to just like knock out with. And then I wake up just because I have a lot of back pain too from when I used to work in the kitchen all the time. Like a lot of that, I would just take like a few hits a day, and I was like, oh crap, like it's not as bad as like when I woke up this morning. Maybe it's just because I'm walking around or doing active shit during the day, but. I noticed that CBD stuff is pretty cool. Like I did some,
cool, yeah, even,
did some
like-
research on it, and it's just like I don't know, like that's just what blows my fucking mind about science is like they can isolate certain things about. Yeah, it's not just science; it's fucking science. Like,
Yeah,
like
man.
when they can isolate certain things, like certain positive factors about some kind of product, like okay, so weed, they can isolate the good shit about it or find that
Anything.
genome.
See,
Or,
and
why did I
well,
say genome or that
that's-
atom or whatever?
that's
Metal
what's
Gear. I'm thinking Metal Gear over here. Like,
What
no, but like
shit,
you
bro.
can isolate something like that just because you want that effect. and
yeah,
it's
that's
just crazy.
that's
how
one of
they
the
can do that.
biggest things that's so detrimental about the drug war that's happening is that we don't. These things are just automatically labeled as bad.
Yeah, man.
Oh no, but
and
the
there's
CBD is 50 state legal.
Okay, fine, but the point is,
But what we're saying,
the point is that it's still related to weed, and so because the drug war has said this thing is bad in general, people are less likely to try it, even though it's perfectly fine to use and it's a great thing to have, just like actual weed is.
just like actual weed is.
It's people have a stigma about it because and the thing too is when you illegalize it like that, we can't even study it at all.
Yeah.
So the only reason that they've even figured that out about weed and THC and CBD, whatever it's called. CBD.
Preach to him, science man.
The only reason that we've even figured that out is because people have been ignoring that and just continuing to go and study it and find out more about it. And it's the same thing. Like, we're starting to find out more and more crazy shit about various psychedelics too now. Like, I remember they recently have significant evidence showing that psilocybin mushrooms cause neurogenesis, which causes you to grow new brain cells.
Yep.
And it refreshes. Yes.
Apparently. Bro, you know how much cows there are in Maca Kilo? Let's do this shit.
But and this is the thing.
Literally.
And this is where we get back.
that is my drug. Like, when I learned shrooms, I've always wanted to like, oh no, screw ecstasy,
No worries.
screw weed, I mean, not screw weed, but I mean, I was like,
Hey,
fuck
wait
it.
a minute.
I'm a shroom my whole life.
Oh,
I know,
this is-
I still smoke.
And this is the thing too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's
This
do
is-
But
that.
I mean, like, I would like if I'm gonna have only one drug to take
Like,
for
I
the
should've
rest of my
brought
life, I'd shroom.
Should've
Yeah,
brought it.
same here, man. That's like
I
my favorite of
understand. I
every
understand what
all
you're
the
saying.
psychedelics and stuff. Shrooms would be like my number one.
And this is
choice.
where it gets back into moderation. While we know that psilocybin can produce neurogenesis, the stems of psilocybin mushrooms also have strychnine in it, which will cause you to get violently ill if you have too much strychnine. And so there's this idea of moderation where you need to be able to consume it properly, and you need to do it under safe conditions and whatnot. Or if we studied it long enough, we could just get psilocybin out of it and avoid the strychnine completely.
I could see that in the near future. Probably
The thing is,
5, 6 years.
we're not allowed to study it right now,
it's
so we
what-
can't
I
just
know that-
go
I
and
know that
exploit
there is
it.
Shrooms are like
actually
Schedule
I think-
1, huh?
Whose fault is this?
Yeah.
Nancy Reagan's?
It is. It's technically it
Shit,
is.
politics.
You know why?
Nixon.
You know why? You know part of the reason why she made it illegal? She had a drug problem herself.
Weak pussy.
Man, that's some man shit. You know what I mean?
That ain't my fault. That's not my problem.
Like, just go to rehab, bitch. Like, shit.
Haven't you heard of
Even
the
rehab, man. It's just
She kind
fucking-
of started rehab, dude.
Hey, rehab is for quitters.
Well, she should have just went by herself.
She like rehab as a phenomena was kind of started by Nancy Reagan. There's all kinds of rehabilitation facilities that were designed by and for Nancy Reagan.
Well, she should have been the only attendee.
Yeah, man.
Fuck Nancy Reagan.
Yeah, man.
Talk now.
No
Was
doubt.
that TJ? Give him the mic.
Like, it's more learning that I wanted to talk about.
So fucking talk now. I'm sure our listeners want to learn too.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, what do you
So
want to learn, man?
aggressive, Ben.
Jeez.
Calm down.
I can
Let's eat
agree with
weed.
you.
going
though,
on with
because when
Science
you
Bit
were
today?
talking a lot about how like, what was it, like moderation and like how you like when it comes to your music and you have too much projects, so you have to focus on stuff like that, and you have
Yeah.
deadlines and stuff like that. Like me and TJ and like Cozy can relate with you on this, is just because like. Because right now, like the record label that we're under, Joy Records, which is run by Steve Ullman in the USA. What's up, Steve? Thug Life, cash shoots. And then hey, fuck you, Cozy. No, but it's just like,
just
even though they
wasn't
don't really give us a
expecting that Thug
deadline on our
Life.
tracks, it's just like I think it's just like we always get stuck with kind of like, oh no, it's not perfect, it's not done, and it's just because as artists we always try to seek getting that perfect sound that we want with every song, just kind of like how you're saying you do with your visual work or whatever it is, and it's just a struggle that I could completely relate with you on, that we all could completely relate with you on, just because it's something that we're going through right now when it comes to like our tracks, which are done, but there's still parts of it. It's like we need to add more.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't remember who the artist was, but there's a famous quote that like really stuck with me where I believe it was a painter or it might have been a writer, but he said, you know, you can work on this thing for hours and hours and
Yeah.
hours, and at some point you need to realize to just put the brush down or put the pen
Exactly.
down.
Yeah, stop laying it with paint.
Yeah,
Well, the
otherwise
reason I
you're
was
gonna
like I
ruin
wanted
the
to
beauty
talk
that
about
was
it later
there.
is because, like, I mean, what we can talk about, like, I mean, because like how you do your stuff and all that. So actually, we could talk about that, but like as to far as like how deep into it, that's the reason why I wanted to kind of pull it on the side because. Plus, at the same time, like I feel like like when it comes to like my attributions to Astronauts by Night, it's
Contribution.
what? No, I mean
Attributions?
what are the contributions? Contributions. My bad. My words are like
Attributions isn't a word.
okay. Well, it's okay. Never mind. My bad. it's in my dictionary.
Grammar bid.
I caught the spirit.
But
I had to
my
let 'em know.
contributions to the stuff is like I like start it. I have like this idea. I go and then Jason and Cozy when they like it, they'll throw their stuff on top of it. So it's like I want to talk about like how you do your visualization stuff to learn a little about it. Like maybe I can end up doing it stuff on my own to offer.
Maybe he can use.
Some more of a process discussion. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
he
there is a
can
process.
use what he learns from you to create music that it's easier to visualize with.
Oh, getting deep over here.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, I'd love to learn. Like one of my things is like, I mean, like we were saying, jack of all trades. You know, like I'd like to learn how to do it.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm just like you guys. You know, I want to do everything. Like right now, I'm trying to learn how to program because I want to create my own, plugins that create visuals and things like that.
Yeah.
But it's it's too much sometimes.
Yeah, I
So-
could assume it because with even with music too. Like when you're, let's say
Definitely.
like you're trying to create a certain synth, like you can get so in depth.
Well, you can get into the hardware, the software, the
Yeah.
plugins. It just gets crazy, right?
Yeah,
That's
like
a whole other part of
Yeah.
of art is that like art gets overwhelmed really quickly and just wants to go back to doing what
Well,
was easy.
especially with
kind of thing.
technology, man. There's
Oh,
always
yeah.
some new shit to play with.
Oh yeah, definitely. Somebody's created something that hey, let's play with this toy,
Yeah.
But I mean, since we talked like we're gonna probably talk about it a bit. Like what programs do you use to do all your visualization and everything?
Yeah, well, like I was saying, I started off, doing video editing. So it was Premiere was like, the first thing where I kind of learned how to cut things together. But then, I saw like cool titles on TV and special effects, and I was like, I want to create that stuff. Forget the editing, and I'm not really into creating stories so much, but more like eye candy. So that's kind of where I went to After Effects, which is kind of like the compositing program.
It's
like
Adobe, right? Yeah.
It's Adobe.
Yeah.
But it's like Photoshop with animation, basically.
Cool.
You manipulate colors. You do
So majority of your
crazy
work's all
effects.
just being done on Adobe and stuff like that.
mostly Adobe.
Yeah,
And,
because I've seen that. Like I've heard of all those programs, but it's just like, and all I know is Photoshop and Illustrator. I don't get any further than that.
Well, if you know those two, you could probably transition into After Effects pretty easily.
I feel like they're the way they run things. I learned Photoshop way before I started tweaking with Illustrator. Like only now, like just for fun, I've been tweaking with Illustrator. But like, it wasn't that hard to like figure out how it works. Especially nowadays, you can find a tutorial on anything.
That's what I was gonna
on
say.
YouTube.
You
Like
can learn
just
anything
go on there
online.
and be like, oh, this is how you do that.
I even went and played around with Grindr off of tutorials on YouTube.
Isn't that like the gay hookup act?
Whoa.
Right?
I might have said it wrong.
Wait, what are you doing, man?
What's the visualization, the 3D modeling?
No,
Blender.
Blender.
Yeah, I was
Grinder. What is this grinder? I knew what you were talking about, Ben. I knew what you were talking about, but then
I knew what you were talking about.
Oh wow.
Ben's still coming down, guys.
Yeah, I am.
Sorry.
I'm not all there.
Man. I mean, that's whatever you're into, bro. It's all good.
Sorry. Yeah. Continue.
Yeah, you can learn anything online.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty much self-taught.
Yeah. I
I
feel
went
like
to school for some of this stuff, but most of the time I spent learning it myself is how I made a career out of it.
cool.
It's been like
I don't know.
an hour and a half.
Has it really been?
Yeah.
How long do we do these things?
Holy shit! Yeah, it's almost 5 o'clock now.
Try to shoot for an hour and a half usually.
Oh, is that your push button thing going on? Your
Walker is calling me.
Yeah. So what? You guys want to keep going or?
Why would you do that?
They're trying to get on the podcast and shit.
Okay, cool.
God damn it!
That's cool. That'll be a
I guess this is happening on air. Hey, what's up, man?
This is the first
Ben.
call
This
we've
is the
ever
first,
done on.
Yeah, the first call.
Hold on, I gotta-
We have
Go
our
ahead.
first caller from Georgia. So we play this game called Warframe, and he's our clan lord. Not that kind of clan.
barely
Walker.
understand.
I was like, hold
Not
up,
that
man.
kind of clan.
The
So
clan
much-
lord
so
from
much talking
Georgia.
going
Like,
on around me.
do I need to leave the room?
Say again?
I just got it.
You just got it, Cody.
No, I was
You
like,
just got it.
I can- I can't- hang on a
when you're in
second. I can't hear anything that you're saying.
Yeah, no.
man.
Way to derail this, Jason.
What? No, I told him to call you and put him on speaker. That was the thing.
Full of surprises
You
today.
never tell us
Put him on
the
speaker.
whole story.
He wanted to go. He wanted to be put on speaker.
Well, there we go.
We got our first caller, which is named Walker from
Shout
Atlanta,
out
Georgia.
to the clan lord from Georgia.
It's from a game we play called Warframe.
Okay, you're on speakerphone.
Walker, speak clearly. Don't act so drunk.
Was drunk.
Why am I speaking to this? He can't hear me speaking to this.
Okay, so we can barely hear you. Go ahead and talk.
Yeah, you still there? You still on the podcast? Or what? Yeah.
Yeah, we're still doing the podcast. You're our first call-in.
You're our very first caller.
Yeah.
The fuck was
I
that?
have no idea.
That's that gangster shit.
Thug life.
Him and his from what I remember he told me today is like him and his the wife and the daughter had the huge preteen blowout. Like the
Oh, no.
I'm a teenager, I want to do my own thing, blah, blah. No, I'm your mom, blah, blah. They had that whole blowout. So he called me earlier before I came down here, and I told him he's like, oh yeah, I'm about to go
Hang on a
take
second,
the wife
Walker.
out to the bar. So I was like, yeah, take her out to the bar, go do your thing. I was like, let her make her forget everything of all the stresses of being a mom.
Right.
Then take her home, give her the D, and then have her work out her shit with the daughter. And then boom, that's exactly what happened. And he calls him, he's like, yeah, bro, my wife's so happy. They're talking now. They're all like laughing and so I was like, did you give the D yet? He's like, not yet. I was like, get on that. Like, get on that, bro.
Why'd you make him call?
Because that's why I left. That's why I left. He was calling me and he's like, I want to get on the podcast. And I was like, yeah, that'd be good. Be our first official caller. We gotta start doing that shit, man. Like getting an outside opinion. And
Oh.
Well, this ain't
Yeah.
I thought,
shit. Sorry, on their podcast. My apologies.
I thought you were saying
My
we gotta
bad.
start giving out marital advice. I thought
No,
that's
not marital advice. This ain't Dr. Phil and shit.
I was like, I don't know,
I'm
man.
on caller number 1.
Right?
Oh my god, I think we.
Because pretty much I'd pretty much answer every call with,
advice.
well,
Gonna turn
do
into
you guys
Love
smoke
Line.
weed? Try smoking a little bit with her.
Guys eat
Man,
shrooms? No? Try it.
no,
One time.
yo.
Who's next?
No, hey, wait, no. I
We're
forgot
on
to talk
fire.
about this one. I forgot to talk about this right before Walker called.
Yo,
And there-
totally. Bro,
I forgot to talk about this right before Walker called. And we were
man.
still on like when it came to like drugs and stuff like that, going
Yeah.
through all stuff like that. I recently read something about them that ecstasy is actually going through clinical trials to be used as a
Yeah, it did that.
No. It's actually getting FDA approval. I think
for
Don't quote me on this.
PTSD?
It's like they're getting support from the government. No, they're getting support from the government to use it to
GP.
to use it as a as like a type of to help couples.
Oh, yeah, they've been doing that, though.
Yeah.
But
No. That was
But
behind
it's gonna
closed
be
doors.
like
Yeah,
officially.
yeah.
No, it's gonna be official.
Legal.
Before, they were doing that,
So I can buy
but
it
then
off the shelves. Just go to law.
but
I
then
thought
they-
that's what it was made for.
no,
it is. I thought.
Right? But
No, when the development of it was to help with what do you call it? Therapy and stuff like that. They wanted to bring people in like
Couples
psychology
therapy.
or I guess something like that.
yeah.
That's what it was
Sassafras.
But then
created
it's
for.
to help now.
that
Now
what it
they're
is?
actually going through
Sassafras?
trials to actually make it like, legal to
Sassafras.
use when it comes to therapy between couples.
You
and
know,
stuff
people
like
are
that.
still gonna misuse that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man.
Like over the
No, babe, we have problems. Go to the doctor.
misuse, used recreationally, that all comes with the fucking territory.
Well, I mean, I
think.
feel like there's
Yeah,
even
man.
with restrictions of like what could be sold over the table. I mean, I feel like people should understand like like the reason they're over the table is because they're great for you. But then I think a lot of people tend to lose the fact of that you can. No, can you
You
hear
can still
me?
get fucked up.
I don't have headphones on,
Well, like-
motherfucker.
Shit.
Like, oh, man, I lost my train of thought.
That ain't my fault.
Jason.
Why is everything my fault today,
Because you
man?
just
Fuck all
grab
you
this stuff in
motherfuckers.
here and I have
Except
just
you're
as much
cool.
ADHD as I
I get ragged on by all these
Fuck all
guys.
these
Not
motherfuckers.
Kevin, not Kevin.
you.
No, well, not really
Fuck
Kevin.
you.
I've never really
You're
been
cool.
I've never really been ragged on. I've never been really ragged on by Kevin. It's
I
usually
just be out here.
the astronaut by night cruise.
Well-
Usually I get ragged on.
Well, like I mean, like everybody, like I think the thing that like people tend to lose the train of thought of is that like like you shouldn't misabuse this stuff. Like I mean, if they're going through like actually getting this like ecstasy out, like sorry, I should stop calling it that. I should start calling it MDMA. If they're actually gonna get it out there,
Just
this
like how
stuff-
marijuana should be called cannabis, right?
Yeah.
'Cause-
is cannabis the actual legit name?
Yeah.
Yeah,
God, I
it's
feel-
legit.
Yeah, like it was. I forgot the name of the guy that published the article who coined the term marijuana, but it was published in like Science or some science like fucking magazine. He was using it to demonize. He was trying. His agenda was to demonize medical marijuana because it was affecting. The cotton industry.
Fuck cotton. I ain't never had no love for cotton.
Hemp,
I look
that's why.
straight me and
Got the
Kevin made eye
motherfucking-
contact and he's just like,
Yeah,
fuck
so
cotton.
he associated
Fuck
with-
Landlord on the
dog.
phone. Now we talk about cotton.
So the guy.
It's like instead of like you out there in the fields of cotton, you're out there making hemp.
Yeah. So he used he called it marijuana, and he was associating it with some negative aspects, and like he brought race into it, you know, because that's what Mexicans or Mexicans and
Everything is
and the black people, you know,
fucked up.
Minorities.
fucked up. Yeah,
Give
so
the
that's where
black people a break. Have them.
Yeah, so that's
get
where
out
the
of
term-
compound
Hey,
and
wait,
have
you
the
know what I mean?
Mexicans go into them
but you know what?
hemp
But you know what though? The one, but
it's their turn.
But you know what? But you know what? The one thing I'll admit, the one thing I'll admit is just like with how like medical marijuana industry is booming. Not even just the medical marijuana industry. Just like in Colorado, like it's how it's like booming and stuff like that. And there are places that have actually legalized it. Like like I've honestly just kind of wanted to grow a marijuana plant just to grow it. I've always kind of wanted to just to see like because like it's like when I started reading about all these different strains, it's like I'll honestly admit I don't think I've ever heard of more of a complicated plant. When it comes to, I don't think there's a single plant on this planet that people have tried to cross pollinate or whatever it is more than marijuana. It's probably the most researched plant on the face of this fucking planet.
Well, it's one of the original crops too. Yeah. Like hemp in general is one of the most versatile and original crops.
Stepping in and not missing a beat.
yes, boom, right? Thug life. There we go.
Yeah, no,
it's like a catch and shoot jump shot right there, bro.
What a lot of people don't know.
NBA 2K.
Just to show you how versatile of a plant this is, what a lot of people don't know is that Henry Ford's first vehicle was made out of a fiber material made from hemp. What the fuck? There's a lot of noise coming through this. God damn, that paper bag just made a little noise out like a motherfucker.
It's him chewing on them chips.
What Jesus shit? Nigga, damn.
But anyway, so Henry Ford, his first car ran on hemp oil, and the body was made out of like a carbon fiber sort of substance,
like Kevlar material kind of stuff.
Yeah, made from hemp rope and hemp fiber.
Man. The first throttle cable was made out of weed.
And like I said, the car ran.
Boom.
The car ran on hemp oil.
Holy shit.
Which is non-psychoactive. The only reason it's illegal in the United States and a lot of other first world countries is because it's related to marijuana.
That's car that runs on water, man. Sorry, that's just all I can think of. But all right, go ahead.
No, that's it. I was just saying, like, it's a very versatile plant. It's a very versatile plant.
Yeah, man. I think we should just all smoke before the next podcast.
I would be even less functional than I am right now.
No, dude. I'll teach you how.
I'll teach you. Yeah.
I'm down.
I need to learn, bro. I need to learn.
I've been working with Cozy on this.
I can't hear you. You're not on mic. Oh.
Let's not have this on there. If we're trying to hide something from Mom, I think we shouldn't be on there.
What are you trying to hide from my mom?
No, she's...
So?
She knows what's up when I come through here.
Weed?
Okay, cool.
Her and
I want to smoke weed and do the podcast.
Weed.
Let's do this.
Yeah, man. I got these dreads in now. I don't think I'm fooling anybody when it comes to
You've seen my dad's
weed.
Water pipe, right?
Wait, he has a water pipe?
There's this pipe that runs on water, man.
We got to get Eric on this show.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dude, the guy that owns the shop, Two High Guys.
Oh yes, okay,
Yes.
yeah. No, I bought a dub from him last time we were there, right? Not at the shop. I shouldn't say at the shop. I bought a dub from him somewhere else.
Period.
I didn't buy a dub from him. You said Eric? I thought we were talking about Jarek. All right, let's go.
Oh, I know Jarek. Yeah, Jarek, that guy.
The guy who sells dubs.
The guy who sells dubs.
Put him on blast.
Jarek.
That other dude.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah, that guy.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's time to wrap up then.
Yeah.
Now that we've gone and just...
It got to the
Fuck
point
that.
where I think
Yeah.
we need to just have some more beers and, you know, like
Yeah,
maybe
it's
smoke
time
a
for us
little
to
bit
retire
and
and
chill.
man.
start getting that food cooking.
Let's call up Jarek.
Let's call him Jarek. All right.
Okay. Hypoetical. You got anything to plug before we sign off?
Just April 30th, I'll be doing live visuals for Greenleaf Check.
Yes.
Yeah.
April 30th and every last Thursday of the month. That's Greenleaf Check at the Safe House. This month it's gonna be me, Pat Rock from KTOH, and Kawhi.
Oh, I'm gonna be hosting.
And yeah, Kawhi.
I'm gonna do that.
Oh,
And if you want to smoke some weed,
Got
I'll be
that
doing
MC
that in
over
the
here?
parking lot.
And if you guys got anything to promote, Ben?
Does Tron and TJ got anything?
I mean, if you watched the previous podcast, then I mean, you probably caught everything. But yeah, I'll let Jason do it. He's better at it.
I'd say just we're gonna be starting up the Astronauts by Night Cosmic Velocity podcast again. I didn't realize it has been this long, but it's been 1 year since we had an episode.
Holy shit!
It's been 1 year. So at $20 a month, $20 to $15 a month that I've been paying for the Libsyn account, we've spent $200 over $200 and have done nothing.
Yeah, but
but we've gotten so busy in the last year with getting signed on Joy Records and all the remix contests that we've done. We've gotten so busy,
producing an album.
Yes. Yeah, so it's just like we're actually gonna start the Astronauts by Night Cosmic Velocity podcast up again. Probably we got the podcast done, but we're trying to work out some other details on it. So it'll probably be up and running within the next month.
And then the website should be up soon
by
hopefully.
tomorrow, I hope.
Yeah,
possibly.
Okay. Yeah,
or within the next week.
Okay.
The next podcast episode won't be released until the website is up and running.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, we also have been talking about doing a tour through through California that we're trying to work on right now. It's still a work in progress. Also, we have the upcoming album release, which would probably be in the next 7 to 8 months.
Nice.
Probably going to be, I would say, how many tracks?
1 million.
I wish.
1 million tracks.
We're looking around like 7, 8 tracks. Is that an
LP.
LP or is that a fucking...
Less than 12, I think. Depends. I don't know.
Yes.
Because
Usually EPs are like fucking like 3 or 4 tracks.
Well, because what we're gonna
it's
do
like
is we're gonna
under 30
release
minutes of music.
the album mixed as it's like kind of just like one mix together, kind of like about an hour long, and then we're gonna release the actual tracks in DJ version for everyone after that. So after a month after we release the actual album of like songs that are gonna be cut down to just like the good juicy shit, then it's gonna be the DJ mixes or the DJ versions of the track that what's it called? The extended mixes for people to actually DJ will be released about 1 to 2 months after the actual album release. Whoop. So that's what we're shooting for. So we're shooting for around like September, October or something like that.
Swag. Where can everybody find you guys on Twitter? Hypoetical or like on social media and all that shit?
Everything is Hypoetical at Hypoetical, Facebook.com/Hypoetical. Hypoetical.net's my website. Check it out. Has my music on there too.
Why does he have a website and we don't?
Because you guys didn't give me all the info, bitch.
Shit.
Just starting shit again.
Okay, you guys don't even bring this up until you guys
Starting
fucking see
shit
me.
again.
Like, really?
Just starting shit,
Fucking
yeah.
hey, man. Like, this dude hit me up, like, trying to say, yo, what do we need to get the website up and running? And then I told him, and then I never heard word anywhere after that. So you're going to fucking give me heat, dog?
Anyway.
Oh shit!
Anyway.
We got the enforcer right there.
God.
Anyway.
Wait, what? Are you cheering him on? Wasn't he just talking to you? I was like, that's right. You tell me, bro.
Nah, man, like we said, we're all fucking busy. We all got we're all learning how to balance all our very different various aspects of our lives.
man.
You know
There
what
you
I'm saying?
Yep.
Anyway.
It's Hawaii. The struggle is real in Hawaii.
The struggle is
real, bro.
I'll honestly say this: it's hard for an artist to make a living just by doing their artist thing in Hawaii. Just because the cost of living is, what is the average median to be able to survive in Hawaii? For like a
You need like
as a single
to sell drugs, bro.
You need like
it's around
you need between 15 and $20 an hour practically.
yeah. So about like I'd say like around $70,000 to
comfortably.
$80,000 a year.
That's to live comfortably,
as a
not
single
just scrape
bachelor.
by. Yeah.
As a single
Need a
bachelor.
side gig.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Like
Yeah,
seriously.
Okay. So, Tron, where can people
sell
find you
drugs,
online?
man.
All right.
Day job.
So when it comes to Astronauts by Night, you guys can find us at Facebook.com/Astronauts by Night. Instagram is astronauts_by_night. And then for Twitter, it's astronauts_BN.
Swag.
As in,
Dope.
I'm not
What's your
gonna fix
personal
that
Twitter and Instagram? And shit?
I'm Tron_D_B, and then TJ. Oh, you ain't got no Twitter.
You ain't even
Gotta
got
get you
that
set up,
shit.
You
man.
ain't got
He's
that
like,
shit.
fuck that.
It's off the grid.
It's probably like at Jude Jove or some shit. I don't know.
So, if you're interested in comedy, weekly shows every Wednesday night at Hawaiian Brian's. So we do usually a show followed by an open mic. If you want to come out and try or just come out and see a good show, that'd be great. We also have weekly shows happening on Saturdays at Fresh Cafe.
Fresh Cafe downtown.
Which one?
Yep. That's
There's more
the
than
one in
one Fresh
Chinatown.
Cafe?
Yeah, the one in China. The new
How
one
many
just opened up.
cafes are Fresh?
It used to be called Indigo Restaurant in
Oh,
Chinatown.
that place.
It's now Fresh Cafe. So that's another weekly, and I will be starting up a bi-weekly live show that we're calling Film Farce. The first episode or the first show will
I
be.
thought you said film fart.
I was sitting here thinking it too,
My bad,
but
my
I
bad,
know
I'm
what it
sorry.
is, so I didn't say it out loud.
The first show is going to be on May 4th,
Film farts.
and we were going to do Top Gun, but then we realized that our first date is actually going to be May the 4th be with you.
Oh, yeah.
We're changing it up, and we're going to end up doing Star Wars.
Well,
Yeah, you can. If you did, yeah, you'd have to do Star Wars, yeah.
yeah, man.
So-
We got to go to that one.
That's going to be
I'll
at,
be here. I'll be
Gotta
here.
go to
that's
Film
going to be
Farts.
at 8:50 next to IAO Bowl.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said like 8:50 in the morning. I was like, you kiss my ass. No.
shit.
Follow me on Twitter. Trip has 808, and
Yeah.
I'll as things get closer,
all
I'll
your
be tweeting out
scientific
more detail into it.
More
want you
Follow me
details.
if you want like good facts and shit like that. Just follow me on Facebook. I post good shit on there.
He does his research. He does his Wikipedia.
Yo,
and
speaking of
Google research and
Facebook,
shit.
was that you who posted that shit where it was like fucking Charizard talking to Blastoise?
Yes.
That shit was fucking awesome. I came across it like right after I had finished smoking a blunt, and I was like, "What the
Yeah.
fuck?" And then I watched that shit. And I
No,
was like,
the funniest one is when I told you to watch the overview effect.
Yo, yeah,
the
that
one about
shit
the
went hard as
astronauts,
fuck.
like, yeah, about astronauts that go into space. If you guys ever have any outlook on how I believe the human race should be looking at shit, look up the overview effect on YouTube and watch it. It's pretty much how astronauts go into space and they stop looking at us segregated by races, ethnicities, or whatever it is, and they start looking at us as a species.
They don't. It's part of the thing is they don't see the world with the lines drawn on maps that we all see.
Yes.
They see it from above where there isn't lines, and they realize that everyone is the same.
Thug life. Is that thug life?
Yeah, that's
totally
It's
thug
pretty
life,
fucking
man.
gang- It's pretty fucking gangster.
thug
Yeah.
as fuck, bro.
All right.
This thing
All right.
just ass.
Quality, where can people find you?
They can find
all
me
kinds
in
of
these
shit.
streets smoking weed, nigga. Nah,
Shake them dread. Shake them dread.
but besides that, they can find me on social media as Quali is ill. They can find me this Friday coming up at Next Door with Connor Boy. We're rapping before Josh Martinez raps. So that's a thing. It's gonna be a show. So come
It's gonna
out
be
to
nice.
If people want to check out your music, you can find them at soundcloud.com/quality is ill as well.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
I'm out
that's it.
here, dog.
And I am John Cozy, JONCOZY. Google me, fuckers. Okay, check out the Aloha Broha Podcast at AlohaBroha.com.
Bitch.
And you can check out all our fucking Greenleaf Check shit at greenleafcheck.com. That's our like music fucking network.
Fuck.
And
And go check out and support About the Goods, who have been
About the Goods.
awesome to us this
Yeah.
whole time.
They about the goods.
yeah, they got a shop on Macaulay. I don't forgot their address. Go check out their website at aboutthegoods.com.
And it has the address.
With one T.
with one T, so it looks like about he goods.
About he But
Shout out to the workhouse.
Yeah, but they got
shout
all
out to the
kinds
workhouse
of, yeah.
boys.
Shout out to
We out here.
Workhouse. Shout
We
out
out
to,
here. Shout out to my nigga Keith Ape, since we just shouting niggas out, bro.
I got a
There you
shout
go.
out. I got a shout out. I got a shout out.
Yeah, shout him out.
Wouldn't it be weird if Bill Murray just showed up right now?